righty. And we welcome you out here on 105.5 KXCS FM just in time for tip-off between Forsan and Coleman on senior night as the Lady Buffs and Lady Cats tangle before the boys game, which is a pivotal one for Forsan for playoff positioning. The Lady Buffs taking on a Coleman team right now, battling for 4th place in the district standings as Forsan turns it over in the half court. And the Lady Buffs are trailing early on here 2-0. Tessa Arnold had the game's first bucket, and then quickly an offensive foul, bringing the ball into the half court against Coleman. So back-to-back turnovers, and it is Forsan basketball. The Lady Buffs down 2-0 here, coming in at 7-2 in district play. Coleman is at 5-4. Taryn Spivey sighting in a 3 from the left side wing. That's a little bit strong. Backside rebound though for Reagan Phillips. They'll rotate it back around the outside of the arc. Off back to the hands of Phillips, and now up top with Riley Evans. She peels off the three-point line. Left-hand drive. Kicks out to Phillips, left side wing, 3 off the back iron. Another backside rebound in the right side corner from Aubrey Smith. It stays Forsan basketball. Down 2-0 here early on. In the half court with Ella Hoff, top of the key between the rings. Now feeding left and getting right back from Reagan Phillips. Hoff will rotate it back around to the right-hand side before Riley Evans pops out left-hand wing with a chance at a mid-range 2. She decides to pass it in the air to Taryn Spivey. She drives, gets fouled, and it will be 2 foul shots coming up for for Taryn Spivey. The Lady Buffs are searching for a strong finish to district play, one that would help them as the first free throw from Spivey is missed off the right-hand rim. Have a chance if Roscoe can beat C-City tonight to finish as co-district champs. This is the final district game for these two teams. Second Spivey free throw on its way. That one's off the back rim. But again, it's an offensive rebound for Forsan. A 4th crack at it here now. Again, following 2 free throws, it stays 2-0 Coleman. 1 minute and 25 seconds into this first quarter. Riley Evans outside right, wheeling and now kicking to Spivey on the right side wing. Spivey rotates back across left. Holding there is Evans as Coleman goes with a 2-3 zone defensive look here early on. Evans will lob one inside, searching low post for Smith. It's tipped away by Tessa Arnold, and here comes Coleman running the floor. Got away with a carry, did not get away with a travel. And it will be Forsan basketball. So after Tessa Arnold's initial shot was made, Coleman has now really struggled to hold on to the basketball. So it will be Forsan in the half court yet again with Ella Hoff. Reagan Phillips finding Taryn Spivey. Spivey back up top and across. It goes with Smith and now back out to Hoff. Hoff outside left across the floor, outside right with Spivey. She holds it there, handing off Evans. Evans picks her head up, drives right, now left, feeding across to Hoff. As Forsan tries to break down this 2-3 defensive zone look after their 56-35 victory over Coleman in the first game. Evans will chase down a pass high beyond her hands, all the way up at the stripe left front court. Out to Taryn Spivey for a right wing 3, and Spivey hits from behind the arc. And the Lady Buffs have the lead at 3-2. A work around into the half court does Coleman. Driving, losing the handle is Arnold. Up with the basketball comes Forsan with Spivey and now Evans. 5 to play in this first quarter. Forsan leading 3-2. Spivey out with a one-touch feed to Evans for a catch-and-release 3. Tries to use the window and bank it in. Karam's off the right side rim, grabs her own miss all the way to the rim. And Evans lays it up and in And a timeout is called from the Coleman sideline as the Lady Buffs, despite some struggles initially shooting the basketball, have reeled off 5 straight points, keeping Coleman on the defensive. And it's 5-2 Forsan as the Lady Buffs grab a 3-point advantage. We'll keep it here for this 30-second timeout. Again, it is senior night, so the Lady Buffs and Buffs will pay tribute to their seniors upcoming, including names like Riley Evans and Taryn Spivey, who have those 5 points so far for the Lady Buffs. Plenty of names on the boys' side that we'll be mentioning as the night carries on that also get senior night recognition. They still have a pair of games left. So it'll be Coleman basketball inbounding, facing some tight pressure from Forsan up the court defensively. Jump pass up the floor from Arnold to Stonebrook off the backboard. Arnold can't hit off the offensive rebound. Forsan comes up with the loose ball. Long outlet pass to a charging Riley Evans. She chases it down, but the Coleman defense walls her off. She'll walk it back outside right and start the half-court set. Evans will drive off the three-point arc, feeding to the head of the key, and Spivey rotating around left side wing to Phillips. Her pass back up top, knocked away from Spivey, with a foul in the midst of all of that. And so it will stay Forsan basketball. 3rd team foul against Coleman. Forsan has none. High post pivot action from Reagan Phillips. She'll hand back off to Riley Evans, and Evans will splash from behind the arc as Evans pulling the trigger with a hand in her face, and Forsan's lead swells to 6, 8-2 halfway through the first quarter. Coleman just trying to get something working in the offensive half-court. Shot goes up and rattled in. That one comes from Stonebrook. And so Coleman halves Forsan's deficit, now 8-4. Spivey trying to rip the ball out of the hands of a defender as she lost a handle on it momentarily, and then it ends up carrying out of play wildly after that, as Reagan Phillips couldn't quite chase it down. And so it goes back to Coleman basketball. Forsan leading 8-4 with 3.5 to play in the first quarter. Coleman setting up the half court as Forsan finally able to settle into an actual 2-3 zone look. Pass lobbed into Arnold. She can't hit the first shot, but she gets the putback baby jumper to go, and Arnold has 4 of Coleman's 6, and they've cut it back down to a single possession at 8-6 Forsan. Ella Hoff receiving a long outlet pass into the half court to break any Coleman pressure. Hoff rotating over a screen right from Evans, now feeding right to Spivey, coming back left to Evans. She'll catch and release another 3. That one's long, bounces off the backboard, careening off of Aubrey Smith's hands, and Coleman will scoop up the loose rebound and then lose the basketball as Evans' high press defense forces a missed dribble, and it's a turnover. Forsan retains possession as the Lady Buffs lead it 8-6. Mercedes Rodriguez into the game for the first time for Reagan Phillips, as Coleman will sag back into their 2-3 zone look, and an offensive foul is called on Hoff for a moving screen violation. That will be Hoff's first foul. Also the first foul against Forsan as a team. And so it goes back to Coleman, trailing by a pair, 8-6, 2.5 to play first quarter, as the Lady Buffs on a brief 8-2 run grab the lead. Coleman now trying to dial themselves back into the game. Dribble drive attack, shot goes up, halfway down, pops out, offensive rebound for Arnold, second chance, third chance, blocked away. Arnold still on the basketball, can't get the shot to fall. Now she kicks it out across to her front court mate, whose pass up top leads to a travel and another offensive half-court turnover for Coleman. And so it's right back over to Forsan, leading by 2, 8-6, trying to stretch that lead out, but they will give it right back to Coleman with 2 to play in the first quarter, as a high pass from Spivey in between the hands of a leaping low post Aubrey Smith. Coleman basketball in their visiting blues, trimmed in white and red. Lady Cats with a K and 2 T's. driving, kicking. Coleman offensively up top at the free throw line. Mid-range shot goes up, banked in off the glass from 12 feet out, and we've got ourselves a tie game at 8. As Coleman has fought their way back into this ball game on a little 6-0 run of their own. Evans through traffic, skip pass to Hoff, stolen away by Coleman. They won't have a fast break opportunity. Up the floor run the Lady Cats, right side of the paint. Shot goes up, misses wildly, rebound tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Coleman under the basket. As it ended up deflecting, no, they'll say it deflected off of Coleman last, excuse me. And it will be Forsan basketball with 80 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Evans drawing a blocking foul as she worked around two defenders high in space. And so that'll be team foul number 4 against Winters. Everybody with 1, nobody with 2, with the exception of the 2 fouls currently on Riley Evans. Evans thought about spotting up for 3, feeds off to Taryn Spivey. She'll do that, and she will connect from the left side wing. Taryn Spivey, 2 early threes in this first quarter, and Forsan leads 11-8. They've made 3 of their 4 shots from behind the arc. Outside left now, back straight away for Coleman. Evans playing defense, forces a bad pass, stolen away by Rodriguez. Outlet pass up the floor, and it's saved by Evans through 3 blue shirts, and then she draws a foul on top of it with 44 first quarter seconds left. It's team foul number 5 against Coleman. And Forsan will have the basketball, leading by 3, 11-8, late stages of the first quarter, and they'll have it in the half court. Late substitution on for Coleman, as Taryn Spivey will trigger the inbounds in for Forsan from the scorer's table far sideline. Into Evans, and now Rodriguez. Pass back up top, swatted away and stolen by Coleman. Another fast break opportunity in transition, and a foul is called. Will either be Evans or Rodriguez. It's perhaps luckily on Rodriguez, otherwise Evans would have had 3. And that would have been an interesting decision for Coach Seth Johnson, as Riley almost never comes off the floor. So Coleman will be at the line, shooting 2, with 34.5 seconds left. The first free throw is good. And so Coleman cuts the lead down to 2 at 11-9. Second free throw up, second free throw good. And so it's Forsan basketball into the final half minute of the first quarter. Evans driving all the way to the rim. Brianna Elliott can't grab the miss off the rebound. It ends up spinning out of play, last touched by Coleman. And so it will be Forsan basketball with 24 first quarter seconds left. Lady Buffs leading by 1, 11-10. A first quarter of run so far as Elliott goes and gives right back to Evans under the basket. Left side low block off the inbounds play. Pump fake. Evans layup off the glass with a kiss and in. And Forsan's lead is back to 3, 13-10. Game tying 3 goes up from Coleman with 10 seconds left in the first quarter. That misses short. Rebound ends up spurting out, and Coleman retains possession with 2 and 1. Pass and a heave at the first quarter buzzer, bouncing off the right rim, no dice. And at the end of the first quarter, Forsan leads 13-10. Lady Buffs get 6 points from Taryn Spivey, 7 from Riley Evans, and they've got the 3-point lead. We'll take a 30-second break here on 105.5 KXCS FM. The second quarter right after this. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan leading Coleman as we hit the second period of play. 13-10, the district finale for both teams. Coleman coming off of a victory last night against Miles that moved their district record to 5-4. Forsan's victory against Miles earlier in the week on Tuesday put them at 7-2. They're number 2 in the district. Coleman is number 4. Both teams have got playoff spots locked up. Riley Evans in the half court for Forsan. It's Evans, Spivey, Elliott, Rodriguez, and Phillips on the floor to start for the Lady Buffs as they move from left to right. Spivey and now Evans. Open look behind the arc, 20 feet out. Long arms it does Evans. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Elliott under the basket for Forsan, and it will be Coleman basketball. Coleman on the basketball with Missy Brecker, and Brecker gets tied up by Phillips, and the alternating arrow will keep it with Coleman. Ashlyn Della Garza on the floor along with Kelsey Willis, Brecker, Abby Allen, and Ashley Hammonds. Across the floor with Brecker. Brecker pull-up jumper, mid-range, can't get the shot to go as it bounces off the back rim. Della Garza with the offensive glass. That won't go down, but there's Abby Allen for another putback. She's got 6 of Coleman's 12, and it's a 1-point game, 13-12. Evans breaking the press, speeding into the half court, getting smacked from behind by Willis. That'll be the second foul on Willis. It'll be team foul number 6 on Coleman. So Forsan will shoot free throws from here on out. That foul was on the floor. Evans will inbound to Phillips, right side, deep corner now, back up top with Rodriguez. She'll walk it back out, side right, feeding back to Evans, hoisting from downtown. That one ends up bouncing off lip of the front iron, spilling out of play, and it'll be Coleman basketball, trailing by 1, 13-12, with 7 to play in the first half. Lady Cats moving from left to right, and they're visiting blues, trimmed with some white and a speckle of red. Della Garza up the floor, down low with Willis, and Hammonds will finish from point-blank range, and just like that, Coleman has the lead again at 14-13, their first lead since scoring the first bucket of the game, and then Taryn Spivey airmails the ensuing inbound pass, and it's right back over to Coleman basketball. Substitutions for both sides. Ella Hoff back in for Forsan along with Aubrey Smith. Also returning to the floor is the inbounder. Actually, there were no changes for Coleman, as we get a foul on the right side low block. That will go against Forsan. It's on Spivey. That'll be Terrence's first, Forsan's third. To go along with 1 on Mercedes Rodriguez and 1 on Ella Hoff. First free throw for senior captain Abby Allen. Off the back iron and off right. Stays 14-13 Coleman. Pretty much everything Coleman doing coming within about 5 feet of the basket, which is exactly what they want to do. Second Allen free throw off the lip of the iron. That one spilling out into the hands of Phillips. Now up with Spivey. She has it poked away. It'll stay Forsan basketball in transition. So Forsan basketball in the half court. Taryn Spivey on the rock, rotating back left with an overhead chest pass. Back goes Spivey, handing off to the lead up top with Ella Hoff. Hoff picked up by Brecker. Now across to Evans. Evans holding, trying to work on Willis. Brecker switches on to her. Evans will step it back out all the way to the half court logo. Now she'll drive with her right hand all the way to the cup off the glass. Too much English. Rebound down, and Willis gobbles it up for Coleman. They'll turn it up the floor. Jump pass to Brecker. Middle of the lane, pulls up. 16-foot free throw jumper, a little bit strong off the back iron. Rebound with Forsan. And Smith stolen away from behind in transition by Coleman, though, as De La Garza pokes it away from Phillips. And getting fouled in transition will be Hammonds. They will call that foul on the floor. It will be the first foul on Evans. Coleman leading 14-13. They'll lob it up top into Willis. And now Allen turning, firing, and rolling it in. Abby Allen with 8. So it is 16-13. Coleman leading by 3. Spivey finding Evans as she breaks the half-court press. Evans swatted away underneath by Allen. Allen went up off the pump fake, but still, unfortunately, Evans couldn't find a way around the senior post. Substitutions for both teams. As returning to the game, Chloe Hale for Coleman. Forsan will work with Riley Evans. Evans skipping to the elbow, right, and Reagan Phillips can't get the shot to fall down as it rattled around, popped out, thrown forward on the floor. Rebound still being tied up, and eventually it is fully tied up between Hoff and Willis, and it will stay with Forsan. 5:05 to play in this first half. Forsan now trailing Coleman by 3, 16-13. As it is an 8-0 Coleman run following a 6-0 run that got them back into this game. Blocking foul up top, that will go against Hammond. And that'll be team foul number 7 against Coleman, the second on Hammond. And so it will be Riley Evans at the line, shooting the front end of the 1-and-1 as Haley Needham comes in for for Coleman. De La Garza will get the breather. Evans' first free throw is good. First point of the second quarter for the Lady Buffs. After a 3-minute scoreless drought, second free throw ends up skipping off the right side rim. Coleman has the defensive glass, leading by a pair, 14-16. It's Needham feeding across to Willis. Willis outside right, holding above her head, cross-court feed into the hands of Hale. Hale going back across the court with Willis. Now down low, Needham. Needham has it stolen away by Phillips. It gets tied back up from there as a Coleman player takes a dive to the floor. That's Ashley Hammonds. And the alternating arrow will give it back to Coleman. 4:45 to play in the second quarter. Coleman's lead a pair, 16-14, trying to move it back out to multiple possessions. Catching the lead 3 from Hammonds on the near side corner, and she'll bank it in off the glass. And Coleman's lead is 5, 19-14. Lady Buffs pushing the floor, running with Evans, and she's swatted away by Allen. So it's going to stay Forsan basketball in the half court. Lady Buffs searching with Evans, and they'll get it into Spivey. Across to Phillips, outside left. Phillips driving across the paint to the right. Kicking across, finding Evans. Evans driving down the middle of the lane. Kicking out to Ella Hoff. Poked away. It'll stay Forsan basketball after being poked away by Hammonds and Coleman. Forsan basketball near side corner along the baseline. Phillips to inbound. She'll go up top with Spivey. Feeding back across to Evans. Evans being worked on there by Willis. Up top now with Spivey. Spivey driving. Free throw line leaner. Ends up missing off to the right. Didn't find the rim. Just the backboard rebound. Coleman up the floor with Needham. She'll angle around Spivey. Her cross-court feed stolen away by Phillips. And then Phillips had it poked away by the hands of Willis, and she got back to it first, but it will be a carry, and it'll be Forsan turning it right back over as Brecker checks back in for Coleman, leading by 5, 19-14. Are the Lady Cats on the road here in Forsan on senior night, as Forsan tries to stay in touching distance with Sea City for the district championship. 19-14, Coleman up by 5, driving is Brecker, high off the glass, grabs her own miss, second chance opportunity, put back and a foul. Forsan's 15th foul, and a 2-shot shooting foul for Missy Brecker. Second foul on Spivey. Brecker at the line, she's got 2 in the game so far. First free throw, dropping in, 20-14. This represents a 12-1 Coleman run going back to the last minute of the first quarter. Forsan has not made a bucket in 6 minutes of play. As both free throws from Brecker are good, Coach Seth Johnson wants a timeout as the lead for Coleman has swelled to 7, 21-14. It is a 30-second break, so we will keep it here. Other action around the area, including Big Spring Lady Steer and Steer basketball, home and away to Snyder. You've also got Coahoma hoops at home, taking on their rivals from Stanton. And congratulations to Howard College Lady Hawks softball, winning their regular season opener at Foundation Field against Temple earlier today, 17-13. No shortage of offense there. Their second game of that series was delayed in the second inning. They'll finish that off tomorrow. Howard was leading 1-0. You also have Howard baseball in Houston at the Tournament of Champions. And they split their first two games of that four-game set against number 7 Grayson and number 10 San Jack. They lost to Grayson 17-3. They beat San Jack 10-7. So the Hawks, unranked to start the year off in baseball, are 1-1 early on. They'll see number 3 McLennan and unranked Navarro tomorrow in Houston. And there's more coverage coming up for you on that on the WBI family of stations, and of course also in the Big Spring Herald. Out of the Coach Seth Johnson timeout, which was stretched to a full. In case you were wondering how that turned into 30 seconds, no, time didn't slow down. They just made it a 60 instead of a 30. It is 21-14 Coleman leading Forsan by 7 here in the girls' game. Forsan basketball, 3.5 to play, second quarter. Riley Evans into the half court, feeding a pass left. Ella Hoff rotating back to the center of the key. Now with Evans. Evans driving, working on Hammonds. Hammonds keeping her away from the bucket, though. It'll be Evans driving, feeding out to Reagan Phillips for a deep left three. That one bounces off the glass. Offensive rebound punched out to Evans for a straightaway three. That one's off the back rim. Coleman swallowing up the defensive glass. Up the floor comes Brecker. She has it poked away, and it's last touched by Coleman as it ends up spinning out of the baseline over to Forsan. 21-14. Coleman leads by 7, 3-possession advantage for the Lady Cats. Forsan basketball facing a 2-1-2 press up the floor with 3 to play in the first half. Spivey draws the double, ends up finding Riley Evans, breaking to the middle of the floor, dumping off to Aubrey Smith. Bucket and a foul for Aubrey Smith. As Forsan switching back to some bread and butter from earlier on in district, and that is get the ball down low to the post players and let them get to the free throw line. Aubrey Smith's first points of the game, the and one free throw on its way, and she drops it in. So a 3-point play off the foul against Abby Allen, her second foul. 21-17 the score, and Coleman almost turns the ball over. It ends up being tied up, and it will go back to Forsan. Losing possession was Hammonds in the backcourt. Wholesale substitutions coming up as De La Garza back into the game, as well as Alexa Bordelon. And so it'll be Hale, Hammonds, Bordelon, De La Garza on the floor as Evans spots up for a straightaway three and hits her second trifecta of the first half. Forsan's 4-3 as a team in this opening frame. And it's 21-20. Coleman errant pass, outletted up the floor, far sideline. De La Garza cannot chase it down. Forsan basketball with 2.5 to play in the first half, and a chance to grab the lead right back on a quick 6-0 spurt. Evans accelerating into the half court, jetting right, feeding down low to Ella Hoff under the basket left. Now out with Phillips and back up top with Evans, dialing up another three. Halfway down, popped out, rebound, tips around, punch to the floor. Eventually, timeout is called before a jump ball could be given, as Coleman ends up getting the timeout credited. So they will have possession of the basketball. It is a 30-second timeout. 21-20, Coleman leading by 1. Under 2 to play in the first half. As both teams continue to jostle back and forth with runs. Forsan on an 8-2 run to start the game. A 6-0 run brought Coleman back into the game from there. Forsan scored the ensuing 5. Then Coleman went on an extended 13-1 run to grab a 21-20 lead. And then Forsan with 6 straight points off of an and one finish from Aubrey Smith and a straightaway 3 from Riley Evans have us back to a nip and tuck contest. 21-20, Coleman leads. Coleman basketball out of their timeout. They will set up their set against a 3-2 press look here from Forsan. Ella Hoff up the floor, stolen away by Riley Evans. Evans off the glass and in. And out of the timeout. That is not what Coleman wanted from head coach Meg Barrett. 22-21. Coleman turns it over in transition again. As Hale's skip pass for Hammonds is stolen away by Elliott. Forsan basketball now leading by 1. 22-21. Evans pulls up for 3 off the back rim. Offensive rebound for Forsan, and Smith. A push is called. And it goes against. Waiting for the call. Officially, the call goes against Forsan. And it looks like Reagan Phillips gets tagged with the foul. So that'll be Reagan's first. Mercedes Rodriguez back in for the Lady Buffs. As Coleman has the basketball with Hale. Picks the dribble up, feeds across to Hammonds. Hammonds outside left, spinning away from the defender to Brecker back on the floor. Brecker holding momentarily as she works across what is now 1-3-1 zone look defensively. Staying outside the arc, 3 out, 2 in for Coleman offensively. 65 seconds left to play in the first half. Driving is Hammonds, banking one off the glass on the left side wing. Ends up swirling out. Rebound, Forsan, foul on Coleman off the rebound, and Taryn Spivey will head 75 feet up the floor for a 1-and-1 as Coleman's 9th team foul sends Spivey to the line. The foul on Hammonds is her 3rd. She will come out, and Needham will come in. Forsan will adjust their block placement. Hoff will come up. Aubrey Smith will drop back in coverage. Free throw on the way. Won't go down. And it is tied up with 60 seconds on the dot left in this first half. So 22-21. In favor of Coleman, or excuse me, in favor of Forsan. Driving down low off the miss from the right side low block. Another foul is called. This one will also go against Coleman off the rebound. And so that will be double bonus now for the Lady Buffs. Taryn Spivey will now get 2 free throws off the foul. It is the 2nd foul against Willis. First of 2 free throws for Spivey on the way, and it's good. So Spivey now 1 of 2 at the line for the game. 2nd free throw in this set to extend Forsan's lead further. She connects. And it's 24-21, Forsan leads. They'll press back up the floor. Inbound pass going right away by Spivey. Spivey has it poked away by De La Garza, and then a travel against Brecker will give it right back to Forsan. 45 seconds left in this first half. 24-21 in favor of Forsan. They'll inbound baseline left. Triggered into Hoff. Deflected to Smith. She'll put the ball on the floor. Wheeling out of traffic, back with Smith from Spivey. Now driving is Evans, kicking to Smith. Runner down the middle of the lane, missed it strong. Offensive rebound for Smith. Dumping it back out, up top with Rodriguez. Under 30 to play, Rodriguez feeding to a flashing Smith, but she traveled before she let the ball go. And so it's a turnover to Coleman, who now hasn't scored in the last 4 minutes of play. Brecker up the floor. Pass tipped and stolen away by Smith. Smith running it out off the glass. Inside low block. Up and in. Forsan's lead is 5, 26-21. Another Forsan steal. Evans to Hoff off the window. Another Jimmy Bunny. 28-21. Forsan 14-0 run to finish the first half with 2 and 1. And the expiration of the second quarter brings the Forsan faithful to their feet as the Buffaloes stampede to a 28-21 7-point halftime advantage, giving Coleman all kinds of fits with a 3-2 zone press up the floor that forces at least a half dozen late second quarter turnovers. Lady Buffs up by 7 at the break. We'll take a quick 2-minute hiatus for our sponsors. Back for the halftime report right after this on the WBI family of stations. It's Coleman 21 at the half as Forsan closes the first half off on a 14-0 run in the last 3.5 minutes of the second quarter as the Lady Buffs using a 3-2 zone press up the floor, forcing Coleman into just turnover after turnover to end that first half. Riley Evans leads all scorers with 13 first-half points for the Lady Buffs. Taryn Spivey has 8 more, Aubrey Smith with 5. And then the last couple coming from Ella Hoff. She has 2. As the Lady Buffs, at one stage, trailing by as many as 7 in that first half, end up surging to the lead. Missy Brecker with 4 for Coleman, a team-high 8 for Abby Allen, the senior post, and then additional buckets, 2 points apiece for Hammonds, as well as Chloe Hale and Kelsey Willis. And if you're Coleman, it was a golden opportunity that ultimately was very much missed by the end of everything, as they had control of the game and they honestly had the Lady Buffs a bit on the ropes in that second quarter. Forsan was settling for outside shots. They weren't doing a great job closing out defensively, especially grabbing defensive rebounds under the basket, giving up a lot of offensive glass, and they have managed to turn it around pretty much lickety-split. Again, Forsan hoping that they'll be able to, with a win, grab a share of the 8-2A district championship. If Roscoe can beat C-City, then both C-City and Forsan would finish at 8-2 in district play, split their season series against one another, and share the girls' 8-2A district title. And they would also have to decide who would get the 1 and who would get the 2 sometime next week. That more than likely will be a game that gets played, since there are no district games scheduled for next week, because the district tried to make sure they finished things early with time to avoid any confusion tied to COVID concerns that would get teams into the postseason with straightforward and understood seeding. Coleman has already locked up a playoff spot as well in 4th. They're not worried about dropping out of that spot, and they can't really catch Roscoe either at this stage. So for them, this is just a game to try to put themselves in sync for more than likely it would be a tilt against Cristobal in the opening round. We'll have to wait and see how 7-2A officially pans out, but it looks like it's Cristobal and then everybody else as the Lady Buffs lead it by 7 at the end of one, 28-21. We're at the half of the girls' game on senior night, the boys' game against Coleman to follow as both teams have get their last shoot-around warm-ups in. We'll grab another 3-minute break for our sponsors, and we'll have the second half right after this. You're listening to Forsan Lady Buff Basketball on 105.5 KXCS FM. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan Lady Buff Basketball leading by 7 28-21 as we start the third quarter off against Coleman. Forsan will have the basketball, and they'll move from left to right in their home whites, trimmed in black and silver on this senior night Friday, and they're close to 8-2A district play for the Lady Buffs. Taryn Spivey along with Riley Evans, Reagan Phillips, Ella Hoff, Aubrey Smith to start the second half off, and right away they turn the ball over in the half court to the Lady Buffs as Spivey's entry pass stolen away. Coleman comes up with the loose ball. Missy Brecker for a corner three off the right side wing. That one's no dice. Ends up spilling off the left side iron into the hands of Tessa Arnold, and she connects. So Arnold now into double figures. That stops a 14-0 run for Forsan. And then on the back end, the Lady Buffs will turn it right back over in transition. Up the floor to De La Garza. De La Garza, Brecker, along with Hale, Hammonds, and Allen on the floor. Brecker on the basketball. Brecker holding, and now across to Allen. Allen driving, gets it off the glass and in for two more. And then Forsan turns it right back over as Allen, her two, leads to another defensive steal for Coleman. Three fired up from the right side wing. Unable to hit is Willis. Here comes Forsan into the half court. Their lead sliced to three, 28-25. Evans on the rock with a waist-high right-hand dribble. She slows things down, gives and gets right back. Head of the 2-3 zone, smashed up against her. Spivey giving back to Evans. Evans pulling the trigger for three, and Evans hitting for three. So that stems the tide a little bit. 31-25. Forsan called for a foul in transition as De La Garza got taken out from behind. And the Forsan lead sits at 6, 31-25. Coleman basketball in the half court with Willis. Picks the dribble up. Chest pass across right to Hammonds. Hammonds holding now, feeding back to Willis and Brecker. Far side corner, lost the handle, chased down by Hammonds. Stolen away by Evans. Evans can run it out up the floor, off the glass, the right hand finish. She botches the layup, grabs her own miss, and puts it up and in. Evans now with 18, and it's an 8-point lead, 33-25 for Forsan. Now up the floor quickly comes Allen off the glass, too strong. Rebound tipped out of bounds, and it is Forsan Rock. Forsan basketball in the half court. Riley Evans speeding to the right, feeding across to Reagan Phillips, popped out baseline left, 16-foot jumper, bounces off the back iron, rebound tipped out of the hands of Smith. Coleman has the defensive glass, trailing by 8, 33-25, 5:15 to play, third quarter. Across to Missy Brecker from Willis. Brecker pulls up, air balls, a left corner baseline mid-range jumper. Forsan on the basketball with Riley Evans skipping a pass down low to Smith, kicking out to Phillips for a long two from the left side wing, and she hits from the baseline. Reagan Phillips, her first points of the game. Forsan's lead, double figures for the first time, 35-25. Coleman in the half court. Brecker, corner left, draws a brief double, kicks up top to Willis, thought about the three, sidesteps a charging Riley Evans, misses the shot, short off the front rim, and a foul is called on the rebound. It will go against Coleman, and Abby Allen under the basket. That'll be Allen's third. Allen will stay on the floor with those three fouls. Brecker will come off. Back onto the floor for Coleman is Bordelon. Down the lane all the way, flip under and in as Forsan adds to their lead. Now on a 9-0 run, Riley doing more work under the basket. foul up top. Elbow right on the drive from Willis. That foul will go on Riley, her second. Forsan's second team foul. Coleman has one. Hammonds, outside wing right. Draws a double, feeds back up top between the hands. I believe that was Gray, it is. She gets taken out by Spivey. That'll be Spivey's fourth, and she'll have to come out. Forsan now has 3 team fouls. Mercedes Rodriguez will check in for Spivey. Senior off, junior on. Coleman basketball. With Willis. Right hand dribble, puts it on the floor. Jump pass, a little too tall for its intended target. Hammond's coming down with it on the baseline through Reagan Phillips, and it is Forsan basketball after the Coleman turnover. 3:53 to go, third quarter. Forsan basketball up by a dozen, 37-25. Evans thought about the pull-up three, decides to feed left to Hoff, and she gets fouled by Hammonds. That will be Hammond's third foul, I believe. So she'll come off the floor. Back into the game is Brecker. That's actually Hammond's fourth foul. So both teams have a player with 4 fouls. Forsan basketball, high post feed to Phillips, knocked away by Coleman. Up the floor comes Brecker. Brecker off the glass, missed the layup. A second chance opportunity for Abby Allen. She gets fouled, shot won't go down, but that'll send Allen to the line to shoot 2. Foul called on Reagan Phillips, her second, Forsan's fourth. Allen to shoot 2. She's 0 of 2 from the line in the game. First free throw from the senior is true. 37-26. Forsan's lead is 11. Reagan Phillips comes out. Angelina Hawks in for the first time. One junior for another for Forsan. Second Allen free throw after a couple of knee-high right-hand dribbles, and she sinks it. 37-27, Forsan's lead is 10. They've got the ball back from left to right. Driving Evans, head to the key right, walled off there. Still looking for something to do, and whistles blow as they'll get a foul down low. So that'll be the second foul against Gray. 3:23 to play, third quarter. Forsan basketball, right side inbounds play. Rodriguez will trigger it into Smith. Kicks out to Evans. Corner 3, drilling Riley Evans from the right side corner. She's got 8 of the 10 third quarter points for Forsan, 23 in the game. And the Lady Buffs have a game-high 13-point lead, 40-27. Coleman into the half court. Allen, jump pass, high to low action. Searching for Willis. Fouls called on Hoff. That'll be Ella's second foul. Forsan's 15th foul. It's on the floor, and it'll stay Coleman basketball. They'll inbound baseline left. Lobbed up top for Willis. Jumping it into the hands of Allen. Allen off the backboard and in. As she got the defender Hoff in the air on the pump fake. Bounced it in off the window after that. 40-29 as she's got 16 of Coleman's 29. Forsan's lead is 11. Another wonderful feed from high-low in the post. Hoff searching for Smith. Smith couldn't finish, though. Blocked away from behind. Ball is tied up after that. And it'll be Coleman basketball off the alternating arrow. Forsan's lead is 11. 40-29. Coleman basketball with De La Garza. Worked on by Angelina Hawk. De La Garza gets around her. Pulls up at the three-point arc. Gives the pass back to Mercedes Rodriguez, who steals it away and then gets fouled by Willis. That'll be Willis's third. And with 2:32 to play in the third quarter, that's the fourth team foul against Coleman. Evans searching down low for Smith. She's swatted away from behind again by Allen. And then Rodriguez commits a foul in transition. That one will go against Forsan, their sixth team foul. the half court. Coleman, jump pass. Willis to Brecker, inside to Allen, working on Smith, elevates, short off this first opportunity, grabs her second chance, and lays it up and in. Abby Allen doing most of the work here in this third quarter for the Lady Cats. As Evans drives, angling right now, wheeling it back out behind the arc. Evans picking the dribble up, searching for Smith in the right side corner. Evans driving, elbow right, spinning back out, up top with Rodriguez. She puts the ball on the floor momentarily, now feeding back to Evans, penetrating, picking up the dribble and traveling. Coleman basketball, down by 9 and on a run. As they've got 6 of the last 9. All from Abby Allen. De La Garza outside the arc, head of the key left, and she travels, trying to attack the basket left. So it's back over to Forsan, alternating travel violations up and down the floor. Abby Allen gets a late breather to end the third quarter. Into the game for Coleman. Off the bench comes Casey Williams. Driving inside Evans, around 2 defenders, a bucket and the foul. And as soon as Allen comes off the floor, Forsan goes right back to the rim, and with less protection, it yields immediate dividends. Smith and Hoff come out. Elliott into the game, along with, I believe, Kristen Schaefer for the Lady Buffs. Free throw from Evans, spins around, drops out. Second chance opportunity for Elliott under the basket. Can't get it to go. Rebound for Angelina Hawks. That ends up carrying out to Evans, and she'll hit the mid-range J from the right side corner. And so Forsan's lead is now 13, 44-31. It's Williams in the deep right corner. Pass up top, tipped by Hawks. Into the hands of Coach Barrett of Coleman, and she is not happy with her team's offensive half-court execution. 53 seconds to play in the third quarter. Brecker to inbound, finding De La Garza. De La Garza skipping a pass to Willis. Willis holding there, now back across to De La Garza. Well, outside the arc as Forsan plays some high-press 2-3 zone defense. Defense chance from the Forsan faithful. Under 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. Forsan's lead 13, 44-31, tying a game-high advantage. Angelina Hawks on Willis. Now De La Garza lobs it inside. Elliott punching the post, tips it out of bounds. Williams can't get a handle on it. It'll stay Coleman basketball. 26 seconds to play in the third quarter. 16 fouls for Forsan, 5 for Coleman. Lobbed up top, Willis, catch and release, mid-range, jumper from just inside the free throw line, back rims it, rebound punched out by Elliott. Angelina Hawks of Forsan controls the glass, Forsan pushes the floor, 15 seconds to go. Evans driving past 2 defenders, takes a block foul on the far side elbow, that'll be on the floor, and Forsan will have 13 seconds to work the final meaningful possession potentially of this third quarter, leading 44-31. Evans with a game-high 27. Abby Allen on the bench, leading the way for Coleman with 18. Inbounds pass to Hawks, baseline right. She holds there, puts it on the floor, drives baseline, skips a pass, stolen away by Coleman and Brecker. Now up the floor, Willis. 5 seconds and 4 seconds. Outlet pass out of the hands of its intended target, Hale. And with 1 second left, it will be Forsan basketball. Inbounds pass up to Evans, and Evans will just dribble that last second off. 44-31, Forsan leads by 13 after 3. Lady Buff searching for an 8-2 finish to 8-2A district play. We'll take a 30-second break. Back for the final 8 minutes of regulation after this on 105.5 KXCS FM. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS FM. 3 quarters down. One left for Forsan Lady Buff basketball in 8-2A district play on senior night as they lead Coleman 44-31. Forsan getting a game-high 27 points from Riley Evans, including in that third quarter all but 2 of their points. As Forsan starts off with Angelina Hawks, as well as Mercedes Rodriguez, Kristen Schaefer, Brianna Elliott, and Riley Evans on the floor. Hawks down low, can't finish from point-blank range. Defensive glass for Coleman in transition. Willis's shot won't go down. Allen has the offensive rebound, too strong from the right side, low post. Another offensive board, though, for Coleman under the basket left. Holding it is Hammonds. Up top with Willis. Willis across to the free throw line, and Allen kicking out to Brecker for a catch-and-release 3. That one rolls off the right side. Iron rebound, Forsan and Evans. They'll push the floor, far sideline, angling to the middle of the lane. Evans driving all the way, coast to coast, kicking out Rodriguez. Catch and release 3 off the short rim. Rebound spills out to Hawks. She gets fouled. That will go against Hammonds. That'll be number 5 on her. As Hammonds fouls out. So Hammonds out. Hale back in for Coleman. 44-31, Forsan leads. Team foul number 7 against Coleman. Substitutions for Forsan as the starters will come back out. Aubrey Smith, Ella Hoff, Taryn Spivey on the floor. Reagan Phillips set to check in following the foul shots from Hawks. Front end of the 1-and-1, Angelina hits her first point of the game. Second free throw for Hawks. If she hits, Reagan Phillips comes back in off the front rim. They'll end up saying a violation, though, off the second free throw attempt, and so it'll be a lane violation against Forsan. That does allow a miss and Phillips to come back into the game. A brief hold as Abby Allen ties her shoe at the Forsan Buffalo midcourt logo. 45-31, Forsan leading by 14. Coleman basketball, just over 7 to play in regulation. Willis into the half court, angling a pass right, coming back left over the head of De La Garza. Now popping free off a down screen is Willis. Down low, right side is to the left side low, blocking a point-blank finish for Hale. That'll be Hale's first points of the game, 45-33 in favor of Forsan. Dozen-point advantage trying to add to it. It was 3 at 28-25 early in the third quarter, and since then Forsan's been on a 17-8 run. Another jumper good from, she's got 4 in the game. Coleman cuts it to 10. Forsan can't afford to be lackadaisical. There's still plenty of time in this game for Coleman to make a run. Reagan Phillips, wing 3, bounces off the backboard, down from Aubrey Smith, offensive rebound, and Smith collects. The Prince lead is back to a dozen. De La Garza breaking the press along with Willis, walking into the half court. Right hand dribble at the waist. Allen draws 2, feeding to Willis. Baby jumper from Willis down the middle of the lane. That drops in. She's now got 4. Coleman with 3 straight buckets for the first time in the second half. Driving down low, Evans to Smith, up under, swatted away. A foul is called, and that's going to go on Allen. She's got 4. So Aubrey Smith will head to the line to shoot 2. Allen now has 4 fouls, and the Coleman fans that have made the trip over from the east thought that was all ball. First free throw from Smith off the back iron and out left. 47-37, Forsan's lead is 10. 5.5 to go in regulation. Coleman trying to start a run that would get them back into this game. Second Smith free throw also misses off the right side rim. Rebound for Coleman. Up the floor, De La Garza and now Willis. Willis bursting into the half court. Crossover, wanted to pull up. Ends up kicking out to De La Garza for 3. Left it short, spinning off the front iron. Rebound tipped out and eventually saved by Brecker of Coleman. Long offensive rebound. Brecker attacks the rim. Pull up jumper 14 feet out. That one Karen rebound. Phillips on the backside for Forsan. It stays Lady Buffs 47, Coleman 37. 5 to play in regulation. Riley Evans Angling to the left and now wheeling it back out between the rings at the edge of the Forsan logo at midcourt. Louding one inside for Phillips at the free throw line. High one-touch feed well over the head of Terrence Spivey. Turnover Forsan, and it goes right back to Coleman. Coleman trails by 10, 47-37. 4:45 to play in the fourth quarter. Coleman basketball from right to left. De La Garza draws a bit of a trap, skips the pass, knocked away by Spivey. Ball is tied up on the floor. It will stay off the alternating possession arrow with Coleman. Timeout coming from the Coleman sideline. One of their 3 timeouts they've got left. With 4:38 to play, it's Forsan 47, Coleman 37. We'll take a 30-second break. Back for more senior night action on 105.5 KXCS FM. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. Coleman trailing Forsan by 10, 47-37 into the final 4.5 of regulation. It's Coleman basketball out of their timeout. They've got 2 timeouts left, one full, 1:30. Forsan has 4 timeouts left. Possession arrow favors the Lady Buffs as both teams are in the single bonus. Megan Phillips swatting a pass outside right away and into the Coleman bench. That gets some oohs and ahs from the Forsan crowd, mostly the student section. Forsan with Smith, Hoff, Evans, Phillips, and Spivey on the floor. Cross-court feed for Coleman to Willis. Outside left, Evans picking her up. Searching inside for Allen. Allen gets around Smith off the window. It rolls around and eventually falls out. Second chance opportunity will lead to a bucket and a foul for Abby Allen. She's got 20. Trying to chase down Forsan's Riley Evans, who has 27. And it's an 8-point game as Allen continues to keep Coleman. Does have 4 fouls. So free throw ends up missing short off lip of the rim. Forsan has the defensive rebound. 4 to play in the fourth quarter. Terrence Spivey angling right, feeding to Riley Evans. Evans now back to Spivey and Evans. Again in the right side wing, draws 2. Over to Spivey, feeding to Hoff. Outside left, now Reagan Phillips. Baseline left, rebound tips around. It comes out to Phillips. It takes a deflection off a leg, and it will stay Forsan basketball. Forsan inbounding with Spivey to Evans. 3:45 left. Forsan's lead, 47-39 at 8. Phillips puts it on the floor, kicks out to Ella Hoff. Now back up top with Evans for another 3. That's good from Riley Evans. She's got 30 in the game. Forsan's lead back to 11 as Riley hits her 5th 3 of the night. It's 50-39 Forsan. Coleman basketball as the defense chance picked back up. De La Garza receiving a pass high over her head. She gets tied up. Forsan basketball. With 3:15 to go. Another high pass that De La Garza had to turn, retreat, and grab. Letting her get trapped in the front court. Forsan takes over possession. 2-3 zone look defensively for Coleman. Into the zone. Hoff to Spivey. Back out to Hoff. Now with Evans outside right. Probing drive, wheels it back out up top to Spivey. Spivey feeding back right to Evans. Evans will drive on De La Garza. Now trying to pick it up and drive right amongst the trees. Skipping out to Smith and Phillips as Forsan melting any time left off the clock that might be there for Coleman to try and make a run. Evans pulls up mid-range J from the left side, extended elbow, and she hits again. 32 for Riley, and Forsan's lead is 13. 52-39. All smiles, the senior on senior night. And what might be her last game here at Buffalo Gym, she's made it a memorable one. Shot missed by Willis off the left side, low block. A foul is called on Abby Allen on the rebound, and she has fouled out. And any chance Coleman may have had to make a run likely just went out with Allen. 20 of Coleman's 39 points have come from the 6'1 senior. As into the game for Allen. For Forsan, or excuse me, for Coleman will be Alexa Bordelon. Front end of the 1-and-1, shooting in that single bonus free throw. Phillips misses it short. Rebound Coleman. Still a 13-point game. Willis and now De La Garza for a spot up three. That's good from downtown for De La Garza. Ashlyn De La Garza, her first points of the contest. It brings it back to a 10-point game, 52-42 with 2 left to play in regulation. Reagan Phillips, baseline jumper, count it from 17 feet out along the left side. Reagan's now got 4 in this fourth quarter to help keep Coleman at bay. 54-42, another 3 from Coleman. Off the inside right, iron high rebound off the miss from Hale. And then Spivey travels trying to figure out where she wanted to go with the basketball. So it's back over to Coleman, trailing by a dozen with 99 seconds left. Inbounds to Brecker, trying to bank it off the window and in from 3. Ends up missing it short. Rebound knocked away by Evans, hitting the pocket of Brecker. Evans driving down the lane, step off the glass, and in for 2 more on the left side, low block. Riley with 34 of Forsan's 56. And the Lady Buffs have stretched the lead back out to tie their game high, 56-42. De La Garza hoisting a 3 from the left side wing, flashing off the near side rim. That won't go down. Rebound Spivey and Forsan into the final minute of regulation. The Lady Buffs are likely to finish this game off and move to 8-2 in district play. Evans driving, skipping off to Aubrey Smith, lays it up, lays it in. Timeout, Coleman. Smith with 9. A standing ovation for the 5 on the floor as Forsan's lead is 16, 58-42. We'll leave it here just to make sure. And now they confirm a full timeout. We'll take a 30-second break for our sponsors. Back to finish up the girls' game right after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan into the final 45 seconds of a 58-42 lead over Coleman. Inside, Williams turns, fires, and Williams connects from short range. Coleman slicing the lead to 14, 58-44 with 30 seconds to play. Evans jetting into the half court, angling right, switching from right to left hand. On the dribble drive, now driving, kicking off to Aubrey Smith, puts up a little short jumper from the baseline right, missed it off the back rim. A timeout is called from Coleman's sideline, their final timeout with 17.5 seconds to go. And a game that Forsan leads by 14, 58-44. We'll take one final 30-second break. Back for the conclusion after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS FM. Coleman basketball in the half court. Three from Green off the far side wing. Long. Rebound tipped out. Last touch by Forsan. 5.5 seconds left in the 58-44 game in favor of Forsan. Up the floor on the inbounds pass. Green can hit from mid-range. Push foul on the rebound. That'll go against Reagan Phillips, and we'll get a 1-on-1 with 2.5 seconds left. Reagan trying to figure out where the foul came from. That's her fourth. Substitutions for Forsan as Rodriguez, Hoff, and Hawks will all come in. And the seniors, Spivey, Evans, and Elliott get one final standing ovation here on senior night. Run into the 1-and-1, short rebound Phillips, and that will expire the clock. Forsan 58, Coleman 44. The Lady Buffs win on senior night thanks to 34 points from Riley Evans and a host of big buckets down the stretch from the senior core. As the Lady Buffs, finish off district play at 8-2. We'll take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll dive inside the final box score and we'll get you set for the boys game. We're back right after this. You're listening to Forsan Buffalo football. Forsan Buffalo basketball on 105.5 KXCS FM. We're back in 3 minutes. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan Lady Buff basketball dispatching Coleman 58-44, 34 points for Riley Evans to overcome 20 points from Abby Allen. Taryn Spivey also accounting for 8, 4 for Reagan Phillips, 9 for Aubrey Smith, and 2 for Ella Hoff, 1 for Angelina Hawks, as Forsan finishes district playoff at 8-2. And the Lady Buffs, despite having some hiccups throughout that game, ultimately ended up doing exactly what they needed to grab the victory and start off senior night on a high note, as the Buffalo boys will now try and finish off the sweep. And it is a pivotal game for the Forsan boys, entering district play at 3-4 off the back of back-to-back losses against Miles from Saturday of last week and Tuesday of this week. Coleman is at 5-1 in district play, trying to keep pace with Winters atop the district. Forsan spotted Coleman 18 early points in the first game and then rallied to within 3 by the end of the fourth quarter, only for Coleman to finish the game off at the free throw line. The Lady Buffs started. The Buffalo boys will try to finish a senior night worth of sweeps. The Buffs do have their full roster available. Major Stockton is out there despite suffering that bonk to the head that left him with blood dripping down his face. In Miles, he's good to go. Everybody else is all right for the Buffaloes, and they'll have a full roster lined up as they try to dispatch Coleman in the second half of this season series. As Forsan knows with 3 games left, they at the very least have to keep pace with C-City and then beat C-City the second go-round. Of course, if C-City were to defeat them in the regular season finale back here next Friday, that means that Forsan would essentially have to win out before that and hope that C-City dropped the game somewhere in there. So there are playoff opportunities in various and sundry ways for Forsan on the boys' side. They don't have to win all of their games, and they don't really have to win any specific one. There are paths that will be easier, though, than others, obviously and understandably, and that is the biggest thing, is making sure that that path ends up being as easy as possible. Forsan could still finish as highly as 3rd, and unfortunately gave away a chance to win the district or finish 2nd with the back-to-back defeats to Miles, but they do have that opportunity still to finish as high as 3rd. Really, you want to avoid Wink in the first round of the playoffs. Wink has been ranked on the boys' side in Class 3A or Class 2A pretty much all season long, and Wink beat Forsan when they tussled at the holiday time. That was back in Wink. Again, Forsan had a slow start to that game, spotted Wink a big lead, and then pretty much played heads-up basketball from there against the Wildcats. So through all of that, what we know is that a win tonight for Forsan certainly helps a lot more than a defeat does. A defeat means that Forsan essentially has to win both games next week on the road against Winters, at home against C-City, if they want to try to move back into the 8-2A playoff picture. We'll take another 3-minute break for our sponsors. Back for the rosters and the tip-off right after this on 105.5 The X. 1055 KXCS FM. As Forsan gets their starting introductions this senior night for the Buffalo and Lady Buffalo basketball teams. The Buffalo Bulls coming in at 3 and 4 in district play. Coleman at 5 and 1. Both teams have their intros. Forsan in their home whites trimmed in black. Coleman in a visiting blue trimmed in white with a little splash of red here and there. Coleman's roster: number 1, Devin R. Robertson; number 3, Jacob Homan; number 5, Jalen Holloway; number 11, Clayton Ollinger; number 12, Corbin Rosales; number 15, Roby Odom; number 20, Braxton Smith; number 21, Adam Mason; number 22, Cameron Sykes; number 23 is Rylan Gentry; 24, Hayden Hale; number 30, Hunter Lackey; and number 32, Connor Steffi. It'll be Cameron Sykes to tip things off with Mason Hilger. Forsan starting 5, Hilger along with Paul Evans. And then Sawyer Stallings, Caden Morgan, and Jace Richardson. The starting 5 for Coleman after the tip goes up, which is won by Hilger. All the way into the backcourt, chased down by Coleman. They'll have the first possession. Moving from left to right, they'll start off with Jalen Holloway, as well as Corbin Rosales, as we mentioned, Cameron Sykes, and then Rylan Gentry and Braxton Smith. It's turned over down low by Gentry. Under the basket, it'll be Forsan who comes up with the loose ball. Sawyer Stallings outside right. Up top with Richardson holding there between the rings. Forsan off of back-to-back tight losses to Miles by 2 on Saturday of last week, and then in overtime 66-60 on Tuesday earlier this week as Paul Evans has his shot blocked. Up the floor comes Braxton Smith. He lays it up and in for the game's first points, running it out off the left on the right side low block, and Coleman strikes first 45 seconds in, up 2-0. Jace Richardson trapped at the half-court stripe, lobbing to a slicing Caden Morgan. Morgan dumping off to Hilger. He gathers, goes up strong, and bouncing it in. Mason Hilger from the right side low block. Ball game tied at 2. 70 seconds in. Into the half-court comes Coleman. Smith into the hands of a driving Rosales. Rosales passed back up top, knocked away. Richardson comes up with the loose ball for Forsan. Into the half-court, driving Sawyer Stallings. Baseline runner won't go down from the left side. Offensive glass for Paul Evans. Skipping a pass back into the hands of Mason Hilger. He angles a shot off the glass. Ball game stays tied at 2. Minute and a half in. Jetting past Richardson on the drive is Holloway. His shot, a finger roll floater off the right side rim. Spills off for a Forsan defensive round. Stallings to Evans, now down to Hilger, high off the glass. That one won't go, grabs his own miss, puts it back up and in. Mason Hilger's got 4 early points, and the Buffs have the lead, 4-2. Forsan 7 and 1 at home this year. They enter the year 9 and 11 for tonight. As Holloway nails a forward pressure, sagged off from the left side wing. Coleman takes the lead of the first quarter on a ticking clock. Evans handing off to a driving Caden Morgan. Morgan stop, step, elevate, too strong. Second chance opportunity for Hilger. Can't finish. Rebound gets tied up between Hilger and Gentry. It'll stay Forsan basketball off the alternating possession arrow. Jace Richardson to inbound. Richardson into Hilger, who pops out behind the arc right to receive the pass. Now up top with Caden Morgan coming off a screen, upturned at the head of the key right. Lob pass on the entry through, and an offensive foul is called on the entry pass to Mason Hilger, as they're going to say Hilger had an elbow in the back of the defender fronting the post. First team foul on either side. It's the first on Hilger, obviously, and it's Holloway into the half court. Draws a double, turns it over. Transition opportunity on the fast break for Forsan as Jace Richardson high off the glass. Can't get the finish. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Forsan basketball. Richardson doing a good job attacking, just couldn't quite grab full possession of the basketball back after swimming around the defender on a little Euro hop. Lob pass from Morgan into Stallings, back to Morgan and back to Stallings. Sawyer holding outside right, picked up by Rosales. Now up top with Evans. He's met by Sykes. Evans takes it off the drive. Left-hand dribble toward the basket, lost the handle, grabbed it back, had a foot on the baseline, turnover Forsan, and it is Coleman basketball. 4:57 to play first quarter. Coleman leading Forsan 5-4. Both teams have made 2 buckets. Mason Hilliard with all 4 of Forsan points underneath the basket. A Holloway 3 has Coleman up by 1. Rosales outside the arc, out of the key right. Now across to Smith. Smith the danger man. Jump pass to Gentry. Back up top with Holloway. Holloway picks his head up, looks and feeds right. Holding there, Rosales driving. Jump pass, middle of the lane. Picked up by Gentry. And Smith will drive. Driving, feeding, Holloway for 3. Can't get his shot to fall off the right side rim. Offensive rebound, though, under the basket. Rosales stops and pops. Ends up feeding it cross left to Holloway. As Forsan showing a 2-3 zone defensive look, not giving Coleman a lot of space. A 3 from Sykes in the deep left corner. That's well short of everything. Another offensive rebound under the basket as Coach Corey Richardson directs traffic from the sideline. Kick out to Holloway, wing right. Now into the corner, Braxton Smith wanted to set for 3 from the right side corner, but he traveled a little bunny hop. And the turnover will give it back to Forsan. We'll get substitutions coming for both sides. Ernesto Rivera in for Forsan, as well as Brandon Valdez, who shot the lights out from behind the arc against Miles in Tuesday's overtime defeat. Meanwhile, substitutions for Coleman bring a pair of new players onto the floor for the first time. That would be Clayton Olinger and Roby Odom. Forsan with Stallings driving inside. Bad pass stolen away by Gentry. Now Smith on the block. Up the floor to Olinger. Olinger will drive off the right-hand dribble, kicking back out to a Braxton Smith 3 off the back rim. High rebound, that's gobbled up by Brandon Valdez, climbing the ladder backside for Forsan. Still 5-4, Coleman leads by 1. Lob pass up the floor to Stallings, still elevate, gets fouled on a shove, and he will head to the line to shoot 2. Two free throws coming for Sawyer Stallings off the first foul of the game against Coleman. It goes against Clayton Olinger. So Olinger has 1, Hilger has 1. Forsan on, Josh Cervantes along with Colton Wallace. First free throw is good from Stallings. Second free throw on its way, also good. Forsan grabs the lead, 6-5. Major Stockton on for the first time as Stallings gets a breather. So here comes Coleman up the floor. They'll face a little press at the half-court stripe. Smith, overhead pass into the hands of Odom. Gets right back. Top of the key, thought about 3. Now kicks it off to Holloway for an open look from behind the arc. 22 feet out, left it off the back iron. Rebound tip by Wallace to Valdez. Weaving through traffic, Brandon Valdez, head of the key. Between the rings, outside right with Cervantes. Cervantes puts it on the floor, trying to cross over Holloway, feeding to Rivera, who's popped out from the low post. Rivera swimming around his defender, gets a screen from Wallace, and it'll be an offensive foul. Moving screen violation against Colton Wallace, never came set. Second foul against Forsan, and the turnover will give the ball back to Coleman as Roberson comes in for the first time for Coleman. Also on the floor for the first time for the Blue Cats, freshman Hunter Lackey. It's Roberson almost losing his footing, head of the key, feeding off to Odom. And now out to Olinger. Olinger high front court right, and Roberson trying to cross over Cervantes. Cervantes yielding no space. Roberson around to Odom as Forsan playing tight defensively. Jump pass down low to Olinger as he came free, slashing to the basket. Wallace lost contained down low. Easy lay-in. Coleman's lead is up to 1, 7-6. Wallace stop, step off the window and in from the left side. Low block quickly in transition. Forsan goes back up by 1, 8-7 with 2 to play in the first quarter. Skip pass to Odom. Odom working on Rivera, now to Roberson. A little jab step, crossover and a kick to the right where Olinger slows things down. Finding Odom and a back pass across to Roberson. Again, down low to Olinger. Goes up strong, can't get his shot to fall. Missed it too strong to the left. Rebound for Forsan. Into the half court, speeding Cervantes, and now Valdez holding outside left. Picked up by Roberson. Valdez working on him, trying to clear some space, feeding up top to Cervantes, and getting right back is Valdez. Looking for somewhere to go, trying to find a pass into the entry, but they're walling it off are the Blue Cats defensively. 75 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Major Stockton travels. Ball goes back over to Coleman after he tried to dribble drive off a feed outside right. So Coleman basketball down by 1, 8-7 with $1:15 to play in the first quarter. Roberson driving, trying to kick out to Odom, but it's tipped out of play on a flash from Major Stockton. Stays Coleman basketball in the half court, 70 seconds left in this opening frame. Holloway inside to Lackey, now back out to Roberson, out to Holloway for a catch and release three. Too strong off the backboard. Rebound spilling into the hands of Valdez. He wants to try and lob it all the way up the floor. It goes off the backboard, takes a deflection right into the hands of Ernesto Rivera, and Rivera finishes from point blank range. Sometimes you're better lucky than good. 10-7 in favor of Forsan. They lead by 3. Stepping out for a corner three is Odom. Catch and release, drills it from the left side corner, and we're knotted at 10. Valdez skipping a pass into the hands of Rivera, backing his man down. Offensive foul is called on Rivera. And so Forsan's second offensive foul of the game. Coach Coy Richardson not happy with the call. Thought it was a bit lackadaisical and soft. So it will be Coleman basketball with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Tied at 10. Roberson skip pass to Lackey, elbow right. Searching back up top with Roberson. Little jab step, puts it on the floor, drives right, kicks out to the right side wing, and Ollinger for a mid-range two. Bounces short off the front rim. And it is a foul on Coleman off the rebound. It goes against, I think they called that on Lackey, and they did. So that's his first, Coleman's second. Thomas Gavehart in late here in the first quarter for Forsan. Wallace comes off. 13.7 seconds to play in the first quarter. Major Stockton all the way up the far sideline into the half court. Walled off by Ollinger, finds a slashing Cervantes, gets to the rim, lays it up and in with 3 seconds to play in the first quarter. Roberson will fire one that goes off the rafters and pinballs around from there. And Forsan leads after one, 12-10 here on 105.5 The X. A much better first quarter than what we saw in Coleman 2.5 weeks ago. We'll take a 30-second break. Back right after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. At the end of the first quarter, Forsan leading Coleman 12-10. Coleman will start off with the basketball in this second quarter. As the Buffaloes drop back into their 2-3 zone look defensively. Roberson along with Jacob Coleman on the floor tonight for the first time. And we'll have a turnover from Coleman. We'll finish the 5 on the floor for the teams in just a second. Foul is called against Coleman, trying to wall off Jace Richardson after a bad pass back up top. Led to a transition opportunity and fast break for Forsan. So Forsan will shoot 2 foul shots with Jace Richardson off the foul against Clayton Ollinger, his second. First free throw from Jace is too strong off the back rim. It's Roberson along with Lackey. And then Ollinger comes out, Rosales on. Odom and Homan on the floor for Coleman. Richardson's second free throw drops in. His first point of the game. It's Evans, Hilger, Morgan, Stallings, and Richardson on the floor, the starters, to begin the second quarter for Forsan as they now lead by 3, 13-10. And it's a short-lived three as Coleman hits another three. Coleman with 3 made threes in the game so far. And we're tied at 13. Every time Forsan goes up by 3, Coleman comes right down the floor and bangs in a catch-and-release three. Stallings, jump pass back up top from the deep right corner to Richardson. Feeding back to Coleman, and now they get the ball in the half court with Odom. Down low to Lackey trying to clear space. It's tied up by Evans. It'll be Forsan basketball. So a 13-all game with 7 to play in the first half. Forsan looking for a valuable 4th district victory as they take on Coleman. And a foul in the backcourt, a blocking foul that will go against Rosales. That'll be Coleman's 4th team foul. A little hip check on Jace Richardson. Inbounds pass in to Sawyer Stallings. Stallings holding outside right, now up top with Morgan. Around Richardson, outside left, picked up by Roberson. Gets a screen from Evans. Offensive foul as Evans leaned in, and that's Forsan's 4th foul. 3 of them have been offensive fouls. And the glare from Coach Corey Richardson says all you need to know. Not happy with his team's execution with those screens. Coleman basketball in the half court. Rosales outside right. Pump fake, now feeds across to Homan. Into the corner, Lackey. Left side, now back up top with Odom. Pass deflected, stolen away by Forsan and Caden Morgan. And then he has it poked away, and it'll be Forsan basketball. No, they're going to say it's Coleman basketball, as the far official will override the near official. So Cameron Sykes back in for Coleman, as to Braxton Smith and Hunter Gentry. Forsan will keep their 5 unchanged. Down the lane, driving left side, hanging and connecting from 10 feet out for 2 is Rosales. Coleman goes back in front by a pair, 15-13. Morgan to Stallings. Jump pass back up top, stolen away by Braxton Smith. Smith will run it out and lay it in. Timeout. Forsan on a 7-0 run. Comes Coleman to go up by 4. We'll take a 30-second break. Back right after this on 105.5 The X. Back here on 105.5 KXCS FM out of the Forsan timeout. Coleman on a 7-0 run, leading by 4, 17-13. Richardson into the half court for the Buffs as they move from right to left. Feeding to Sawyer Stallings, high front court right. Now back across to Richardson, over top the head of the key. Lost the handle, turnover Forsan, and it's Coleman basketball. Coleman will come out. Holloway back in for the Blue Cats. 5:35 to play in the first half. Coleman basketball leading by 4. Holloway into the half court to Rosales. And now across to Gentry outside left as Forsan works with a set that sees 5 out, no one inside for Coleman. Outside with Rosales, lobbing inside. Tipped away, comes back to Holloway, though outside right, driving baseline Gentry, feeding off to Sykes, and he'll lay it up and through traffic. A 9-0 Coleman run. It's 19-13 Coleman. Forsan trails by 6, a 2-possession deficit. They'll try to cut into it here. Richardson between the rings, harassed by Smith, and he gets fouled. That'll That'll be team foul number 5 against Coleman, the first on Smith. Substitutions for Forsan. Stallings, Richardson out, Rivera, Stockton in. Paul Evans to inbound, baseline right, searching for Stockton, and he gets fouled as he'd sliced to the basket, gotten rim side of Smith, the defender, and he'll go to the line for 2. Smith picks up 2 quick fouls. Stockton leaves the first free throw short off the lip of the rim. Second Stockton free throw on its way. That one bounces around and falls off. And Forsan still struggling from the free throw line as a team. Only 1 of 5 so far here in the game. Driving down low is Rosales. He'll get fouled and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Forsan has gone cold here in the second quarter. First free throw from Rosales is good. The run is now 10 straight for Coleman. Second free throw misses off the left side iron. Rebound reached by Evans of Forsan. Major Stockton accelerating into the half court, spinning clockwise, kicking out to Caden Morgan. Morgan attacking baseline right, dropping off to Mason Hilger, and Hilger gets fouled. Lays it up and in. Hilger's got 6, and he'll head to the line for an and 1 as that stops the 10-0 run. The foul will go against Holloway, his first, and Forsan is also now officially in the bonus with 4.5 to play in this first half. Hilger with 3 knee-high right-hand dribbles. Free throw on its way. Free throw good. Mason's got 7 in the game. 7 of Forsan's 16. And it's a 4-point Coleman lead, 20-16. Rosales will drive baseline. Now back up top with Gentry. Has it poked away. Rosales drives inside, and the travel is called. Took a walk on the Euro hop. Coleman fans don't like it, but it's referee's discretion on the Euro hop, whether that's an acceptable play or not. Up the floor comes Valdez, has it poked away. A foul is called, though, on reach-in. And that foul will go against Rosales. That's his first. And that sends Valdez to the line for the front end of the 1-and-1. Valdez's free throw too strong. Rebound there for Ernesto Rivera. Offensive rebound goes up, and a travel is called as he got elevated, came down, and then got the shot off. 4 to play in the second quarter. Coleman's lead is 4, 20-16. They've got the ball back on the right side of the floor. Sykes up top with Holloway. Holloway driving, angling to the basket, can't finish a floater. Ball is tied up on the rebound. It'll stay with Coleman with the alternating arrow in their favor. So Holloway will inbound. Holloway with Gentry, Rosales, Roberson, and Sykes on the floor. Inside Sykes, outside Roberson. Rainbow 3 off the backboard. Rebound Valdez and Forsan. Up the floor to Caden Morgan. Morgan gets a lane to the rim, off the glass, lays up and in. Morgan's first point to the game. That halves the Forsan deficit. It's 20-18 now in favor of Coleman. 2.1 possession lead. Up top, Roberson jumps his way through traffic, kicks out to Sykes. He'll hold there, now feeding back up top to Rosales. Rosales will drive and then wheel it back out on a retreat dribble, asking for some help. A handoff to Holloway. A feed to Roberson, outside right. Now a slashing Gentry, elevates, just blocks it for them, but it's a goaltending violation against Ernesto Rivera. And it's 2 free points. It's unfortunate because that shot wasn't going to go in. But Rivera trapped it against the backboard. So the lead is back to 4, and getting credit for the bucket will be Gentry of Coleman. Valdez Looking into the half court. Feeding off to Morgan. Morgan looking on Rosales. Now back up top. Another foul is called. This will go against Coleman, I believe Holloway. Two substitutions. And a third for Forsan. Cameron Allen, Colton Wallace, Thomas Gabehart in. Bob inbounds, pass goes into Colton Wallace. He travels on the left side, low block. Turnover Forsan, and it's right back to Coleman. Forsan has had chances to get back into this game and tie it or take the lead late in the first half. They just haven't executed well in the half court. Not as well as they've needed to. The defense has been good. The offense has been a little bit sketchy. Roberson out to Sykes, and now Gentry, left side corner in the half court for Coleman, leading by 4, 22-18. Across to Holloway, spots up for three. A little bit strong. Roberson with a quick kick back in. Coleman's lead back to 6, 24-18. Thomas Gabehart bursting into the half court for Forsan, and a travel into the half court on Gabehart. Another Forsan turnover. Three turnovers in the last 4 possessions for Forsan offensively. Coleman basketball leading by a half dozen, 24-18. Pass inside to Hunter Lackey, now outside with Odom. Back up top it goes and across to Holloway, outside left. Allen picking him up. Flashing baseline is Odom. Now back with Holloway as it rotates quickly into the right side corner. Roberson for three, left it short. Offensive round for Lackey, loses the handle. And it's eventually a timeout called to avoid a turnover from the Coleman sideline. 1:50 to play in the first half. Coleman leading 24-18. And we'll take a 30-second break. Back to finish off the first half right after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan trailing Coleman 24-18 out of the Coleman timeout. Catch and release three for Holloway. Rolls off the right side. Offensive rebound again for Roberson. Put back and one. And the lead swells to 8. 26-18 as Forsan again cold from the floor for a long stretch, and Coleman ends up peddling their lead out. Wholesale changes for Forsan. Morgan the only one who stays on. Cervantes, Stallings, Richardson, and Hilger back into the game with it 26-18 and a free throw to come for Coleman. Free throw off the back rim. Offensive rebound for Lackey. Goes up off the glass. That won't go down. Another offensive rebound for Ollinger. It stays Coleman basketball. Now Ollinger in the corner dials up a three. That flashes off the front rim. Another offensive rebound for Coleman. 5 in a row. Roberson trying to save it, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. No inside rebounding presence for Forsan over these last 3 minutes of play. It has just completely disappeared. 5 offensive rebounds on this possession alone for Coleman. Roberson back at the line, front into the 1-and-1, pops out, rebound tipped around. Eventually, it finds its way into the hands of Mason Hilger. Up the floor comes Richardson for Forsan, outside wing right. Cervantes between the circles, driving to the right hand. And now back across to Caden Morgan. Morgan will drive, skipping a pass out to Hilger behind the arc. And now up top with Richardson. Forsan trailing by 8, 26-18. 1 minute left in the first half. And a carry is called against Forsan. A 4th turnover in their last 5 offensive half-court possessions. same story, different trip for the Buffaloes. 1 to play in the first half, 26-18. Coleman trying to add to their 8-point possession lead. Step back three for Odom, right side corner. Won't go down, offensive rebound, and it's scrummed for on the floor. It'll be Forsan basketball as a foul is called against Lackey for diving in on top of, I believe, Josh Cervantes. So Cervantes will shoot the foul shots. Lackey comes out with 2 fouls, time in the game. Cervantes will shoot the front end of the final 1-1. And he hits it first. And cuts it to 7 and stops what was an 8-0 run. Connor Sten for Coleman with 50 seconds to play in the second quarter. Cervantes' second free throw on its way. Also good. 26-20. Coleman leads by 6. They'll press up the floor. Holloway around Jace Richardson. Offensive foul as Caden Morgan comes over and takes a body from an out of control spinning Holloway. So it'll be Forsan basketball with 45 seconds to play in the first half. Richardson picked up by Steffi in the half court. Gets a screen from Hilger. Goes over top of that left. Now lobs inside to Hilger. Hilger drawing some shoves. Kicks back out to Richardson for 3. And Chase Richardson splashing from the head of the key. Cuts it to a 3-point game. Now Holloway accelerating, dumping off down low. Bucket the foul transition for Coleman. As Roby Odom, the senior, finishes through traffic. And it goes 28-23 with a free throw to come off the foul down low against Cervantes. And one free throw is good. 29-23. Coleman's lead right back to 6 with 20 seconds to play in the first half. Richardson into the half court, outside right. Dumping off to Caden Morgan. Morgan driving, paint left, pump fake off the glass, grabs his own miss. Second chance opportunity off the glass. That won't go. 2 seconds and 1. Pass is deflected out of bounds with 0.3 of a second left, and Coleman leading 29-23. Inbounds pass. Won't count even if he had gotten it. It is close, closer than you'd expect for it to be, but it's Coleman up by a half dozen at the break, 29-23, thanks to 2 runs of 10-0 and 8-0, where Coleman got 18 of their 29 points. Coach Corey Richardson still with some words for the referees at the half. We'll take a 3-minute break for our sponsors. Back for a look inside the box score right after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM, just in time for the start of the second half. Coleman leading Forsan 29-23 as we pop out of the half. It's Forsan on the basketball first. Jace Richardson, Caden Morgan, Sawyer Stallings, Mason Hilger, and Paul Evans to start off the five on the floor for Forsan as the ball is tipped across the floor out of bounds. Last touch by Coleman. It'll stay Forsan basketball. Coleman has on the floor Cameron Sykes along with Roland Gentry, Braxton Smith, Adam Rosales, and Jalen Holloway. Paul Evans to inbound, finds Sawyer Stallings, elbow left, kicks out to Morgan, over top of a screen right. Morgan driving down the lane, up off the glass, took a hard hit, pops right back to his feet, and Morgan will head to the line to shoot two. On the first foul of this second half, it goes against Gentry, his first foul of the game. First free throw from Morgan is good. He's got three. Second free throw off the back rim. Rebound tipped by Hilger to Morgan. He'll kick it back out to Stallings. Stallings driving off the three-point line. Jump pass down low to Evans. Now across, low block right to left to Hilger. Back up top with Morgan. Morgan driving, knifing, feeding off to Hilger. Bouncing it off the rim too strong. Trying to grab his own miss. Eventually does. Sprung for it on the floor. Tie ball. Coleman basketball. Will get the ball on offense for the first time here, up by 5 in the second half, 29-24. Rosales, and now it's swung across into the near side corner, and Holloway. He'll drive, baseline, up, reverse lane, attempt off the back rim. Offensive glass, Sykes kicks out to Gentry. He left it short, and Forsan grabs the loose ball rebound. Up the floor, speeding Richardson, jetting to the right. Now on the basketball, Stallings trying to take it off the dribble drive. Floater off the spin, counterclockwise along the baseline. Right, and he drops it in from 10 feet out. Sawyer Stallings brings Forsan within a possession at 29-26. They trail by 3. Coleman basketball with Rosales. Little hop step off the glass. He gets it to go for 2. Rosales has 5 in the game. And it's a 31-26 Coleman lead. Richardson, and now Morgan. Trying to break the press. Morgan picks the dribble up, finds Mason Hilger, pivoting back to Sawyer Stallings off the glass. He'll finish off the window with a nifty right hand twirl, 31-28. From the near side, ring good. Coleman hits from behind the arc again with Odom. He's got 6, and then Forsan up the floor, turns it over as Coleman's lead stretches back to 6. Coleman basketball, 34-28, high off the glass. Holloway driving inside. It ends up spinning off the rim right, and then a foul is called as Paul Evans called in the rebound, and Cameron Sykes got into the back of him. Up the floor, Forsan comes with Richardson, beating across, head of the key left with Stallings. Stallings will walk it back right, tried to force an entry pass into Paul Evans, batted away by Coleman defensively, and the double dribble is called against Forsan as Evans drives toward the basket. Forsan in the offensive half court, 34-28 in favor of Coleman. They've got the rock back. In the half court with Rosales, and now across to Smith. Thought about spotting up for 3, decides to wheel it back around all the way to the left side wing, and Gentry up top with Rosales. Pull up 3 off the back iron, rebound long out to Richardson. Forsan basketball, looking to push the floor. Richardson up the right sideline, wheels it back out, finding Caden Morgan up top, left and around to Sawyer Stallings outside left. Along the wing, over top of the screen right, dumps off down low to Hilger, gathers, pump fake, up off the glass, gets fouled, and Mason Hilger will head to the line to shoot 2. Also worth mentioning, Coahoma Bulldog at basketball also ended up winning their contest tonight against their rivals from Stanton. They took it 41-32, so they finished their district slate off with another victory. First free throw from Hilger is good. He's now got 8. This will give him 9, and it's also good. 2 of 2 from the line for Hilger. Cuts Coleman's lead back down to 4, 34-30, 5:08 to play third quarter. Pass up the floor, eluding 2 hands of Forsan defenders. Pass back up top, stolen away by Morgan. Morgan trying to let it out, left side of the lane. Took a bump from the shoulder. No whistles blow. Offensive rebound under the basket for Paul Evans. Dumps off to Hilger, off the window and Hilger with 11 in the game. 34-32. Forsan back within a pair. Driving, Smith. Hook off on the pass, left, drives down the right side of the lane, lays it up and in, 36-32. Coleman stretches the lead back out to 4. 4.5 to play in the third quarter. Stallings driving inside, kicks out Richardson, 4-3 off the back iron. Rebound tipped out of the hands of Hilger, and Rosales will keep Gentry up with it for Coleman. Morgan doing a good job getting back in transition defensively, gets a fingertip to it. And it'll stay Coleman basketball, but Forsan will have a chance to get their defense set. Inbounds pass lobbed into the hands of Gentry outside right. Now to the free throw line, and Smith, he travels at the charity stripe as he trying to pump fake and swirl around the defender. Stays 36-32. Coleman, they lead by 4. 4.25 to play in the third. Forsan basketball, Major Stockton, Brandon Valdez, Ernesto Rivera on the floor for the first time in the second half. Stockton driving inside, dumping off to Hilger, saves it back up top, but it ends up going out of play after that. Coleman basketball. And again, every time Forsan gets a little bit of momentum, they get going too fast, and they start turning the ball over again. Coleman stretches the lead back out to 3 possessions, and then Forsan has to reel them back in. It's been happening pretty much all game long. On the basketball, up top, Smith, angling right, lost the handle, poked away, first one back to it, Sykes, now Holloway, he'll look in a 3, that one rolls around and drops in. Holloway has 6 on a couple of threes, 4 made threes for Coleman, their lead is 7, 39-32, they tip the ensuing inbounds pass out of bounds, stays Forsan basketball, now Major Stockton on the pumpkin. Rolling into the half court. It's there, shaded by Smith all the way. Feeding across left to Cervantes, and now Rivera outside the arc. Ernesto will drive, baseline left. Spinning out of pressure, back up top to Cervantes. It takes a deflection by Holloway's hand. Out of bounds, Forsan basketball. Odom and Lackey back in for Coleman. No changes for Forsan as Sykes and Gentry get breathers midway through the third quarter. Forsan trailing by 7, 39-32. They got the basketball. Valdez driving, step off the glass, won't go down. Rivera offensive rebound, and in from the right side, low block. Forsan, another offensive second chance opportunity. They convert for 2, 39-34. Coleman's lead is a handful. Braxton Smith on the rock. Up top, outside right, now feeding over his head and getting right back from Lackey. Driving, kicking to Ollinger. Ollinger will drive, and a bump foul is called on Cervantes. Baseline right, Forsan's first foul of the second half to go along with 3 against Coleman. For Cervantes, it is his first team foul. Second team foul. Holloway up top to Smith, pulls the trigger on a 3 off the right side rim. Rebound for Hilger. He'll clear space, hand off to Valdez. Forsan basketball, trying to cut it to a 1-possession game. Valdez driving, loses the handle, and it's Coleman basketball. Forsan just can't seem to put 2 or 3 consecutive possessions together without turning the basketball over. And that's been a problem going all the way back really to the Miles game last Saturday. Braxton Smith, head fake, drive, floater, left side, count it for 2 more, and the lead is 7 again, 41-34 Coleman. Major Stockton into the half court. Picked up there by Smith. Lobbing one inside for Hilger. Tipped. Push foul called against Forsan. Another Forsan half court turnover. Second foul of the game on Mason Hilger. Second team foul against Forsan. Roberson in, Holloway out for Coleman. 41-34, they lead. Forsan just not doing enough offensively. They've had the chances, they just haven't executed well enough. Smith into the half court to Roberson, drives off the front of the rim, left it short on the elevation. Floater, rebound Rivera. Valdez and now Cervantes. On the spot up for three, never quite got himself set. Rivera now has the rock. Up top with Major Stockton. Stockton dribble drive off the right side of the lane. Too strong, misses off the right side rim. Rebound spills off, Coleman has the rock. Roberson inside to Lackey, spinning counterclockwise, back out to Smith, head fake, off the three-point arc. Roberson a couple of jab steps, he'll drive, tries to clear some space. Somehow the referees don't call that, clearing off space for Roberson as he finishes at the cup. 43-34, Coleman's lead a game high 9 with 1:15 to play in the third quarter. Lob pass inside to Hilger, he gets fouled on the right side low block. Foul goes against Lackey, he now has 3 down low. Substitution comes in, Lackey off, Gentry on for Coleman. Cervantes and Stockton out, Richardson and Evans in for Forsan. And a foul against Coleman on the inbounds play. They credit that, I believe, to Roberson. Actually, we're going to check that. It's not a foul on Roberson. It's a delay of game warning on Roberson for stepping over the baseline on the inbounds play. Brandon Valdez driving to the rim, laying it up and in off the inbounds feed from Caden Morgan. 43-36, Forsan back within 7. Smith tries to take it all the way to the rim, ends up getting stuck in no man's land, just fires the pass back down the middle of the lane. It's saved by Ollinger, and then he lost the handle on the gather. Up the floor to Jace Richardson, back to Caden Morgan. Morgan will drive, wing right, pull up jumper, 8 feet out, count it for 2 more, inside 45 seconds to play in the third quarter, and Forsan has cut it back down to 5, 43-38. Coleman can't get away, Forsan can't get the lead. 43-38, Coleman basketball with a 5-point lead. Braxton Smith for 3, too strong, back rim, long rebound out to Ollinger with 25 seconds to play in the third quarter. Smith worked on by Richardson, drives inside, floater off the front rim, rebound Hilger and Forsan off the miss. Paul Evans driving baseline right under the cup, dumps off to Valdez, who gets fouled from behind, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. If you're to believe the Coleman fans, apparently everything is a foul on Forsan and nothing is a foul on Coleman. They haven't been okay with one of the fouls called yet. Valdez's first free throw short and left, no dice. Stays 43-38 in favor of Coleman. Second Valdez free throw, no good. Rebound tip, deflected out of bounds, and they're going to call Coleman for a foul. Coming over the top was Gentry, so he's now got 2. 16 fouls against Coleman. And Forsan will inbound as they retain possession with 10.6 seconds to go in the third quarter. They also have the possession arrow in their favor. Inbounds pass underneath the Colton. Wallace left his layup short, rebound tipped out of bounds. It stays with Forsan. 6.9 seconds to go. Wallace comes out, Gavehart in for Forsan. Inbounds pass up top to Gavehart, comes free for a wide open look at 3, left a little bit short. Cervantes grabs the second chance, back out to Gavehart, sets again for 3 off the back rim. Forsan with golden opportunities to make it a 2-point game, not once but twice going to the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, neither drops. And Coleman's lead at the end of 3 is 5, 43-38. We'll take a 30-second break. Back to finish things off right after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. 8 minutes of basketball, at least, left between Forsan and Coleman here at Buffalo Gym. Forsan enters the fourth quarter with possession of the basketball, but down by 5 after missing a couple of wide open looks at 3 that could have got them within a possession to start the fourth and final quarter off. It's Richardson along with Evans, Stallings, Morgan, and Wallace to begin the fourth and final quarter for Forsan, moving from left to right. Caden Morgan peeling off the three-point line, dumping off to Sawyer. Stallings up the free throw line, kicking out to Jace Richardson for 3. Left it long, rebound Lackey under the basket for Coleman. They'll turn it up the floor, and then Richardson commits a frustration foul in transition up the floor. That'll be Jace's, I believe, first foul of the game. It is Jace's first foul. And so it'll be a sideline inbounds play for Coleman as Roberson drives to the bucket, and they'll call a foul on Wallace, getting in front of Roberson driving, and Roberson will head to the line to shoot 2. Roberson is so far 2 of 4 from the free throw line in the game. First one on its way, that's good. 6.2 possession lead. 44-38 in favor of Coleman. Second free throw on its way, short, and then it spills in. So the lead for Coleman is back to 7, 45-38, 7.5 to play. Forsan with Caden Morgan outside left. Now Evans lobbing inside to Stallings. Runner bucket and the foul through traffic. Sawyer Stallings starting to come alive. He's got 7 all in the second half. The foul is on Odom, his first, second. Forsan now officially in the single bonus with Coleman's 17th foul. Here's the and one free throw from Stallings. Rattles around, pops out, offensive rebound. Putback falling away from the basket. And just like that, it's back to a one-possession game, 45-42. Warning assessed to the Forsan bench. Well, Evans lost a shoe through all of that. 45-42 our score. Coleman's lead cut back down to just 3. 5 up at the scorer's table for Coleman as Roberson driving all the way to the bucket. Keegan is up and under, scoop to finish. Lackey, offensive rebound under the basket, knocked away by Morgan. Up the floor to Paul Evans. Evans trying to drive the basket, goes up, gets it blocked from behind. Looked like a goaltending call. Instead, it's a defensive rebound for Coleman. Roberson bouncing a pass up to Ollinger. Back up top with Roberson as both teams playing right at the brink of breakneck pace. Lackey, elbow left, outside with Homan. And now across to Odom. Odom jump pass across the floor to Ollinger. Back into the hands of Odom and Homan. He'll drive on Evans. Lost the handle with 6.5 to play. Coleman leading by 3. Up top with Roberson. Head fake, drive, kick out to Ollinger, and Ollinger travels as he drives baseline right. The Coleman fans don't like it. Ollinger didn't agree with it. The fact that his coach said nothing tells you all you need to know about whether that was actually a travel or not. Wholesale substitutions, Rosales along with Smith, Gentry, Sykes, and Holloway back on the floor for Coleman. Forsan can cut it to 1 or tie. Richardson outside left, picked up by Smith. Now across to Stallings, back to Richardson. Drives with the right hand, picks the dribble up, overhead pass Stallings into the corner. Morgan for a game time 3, short off the lip of the rim, grabs his own miss, saves it, but it's still going to be out of play. 5:56 left in regulation. Forsan trailing by 3. 45-42, Holloway all the way to the rim. Tried to go over the top of his head, behind the back, wild shot, hit the backboard. Didn't find anything from there. Rebound Forsan. Richardson, corner right. with a left-hand dribble, brings it back up top, now feeding into the corner. Sawyer Stallings back up with Richardson, across to Morgan, outside left, pump fake, drive, kick out Richardson, open look for three, and the tie, count it! Chase Richardson splashing down to tie it at 45 with 5.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Coleman basketball. Defense chance from the Forsan crowd. Braxton Smith outside right, now back up top with Rosales, jumps and gets fouled by Richardson on the pump fake. That will be team foul number 5 against Forsan. Jace's second personal foul is on the floor, not in the act of shooting, and it's Coleman to inbound from in front of their own bench. Rosales to Holloway, has it poked away by Richardson, just barely able to get a handle back to it. Now Gentry outside left, up top to Holloway. He'll spot up for three. Off the right side, Iron bouncing off a careening rebound from Mason Hilger. Up the floor comes Forsan for the lead. Driving inside, blocking foul. The bucket will no. Yes, they will count the bucket. And one as Richardson, walled off, driving through traffic, hits and gets the foul call. The foul on Smith, his second. Free throw from Richardson, good. Forsan lead, 48-45 on a 10-2 run. Time out Coleman. 4:50 left to play, and the Forsan bench explodes onto the floor. Fans on their feet here at Buffalo Gymnasium. We'll take a 30-second break as Forsan has stampeded to the lead, 48-45. We're back in 30 on KXCS-FM. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS-FM. Forsan in the midst of a 10-2 fourth quarter run has grabbed the lead for the first time since early in the second quarter against Coleman, 48-45. Searching for a pivotal fourth district win here late in the regular season. Deep three from Braxton. Smith ties it from the left side wing with a 21-foot three. Forsan up the floor. Richardson to Stallings, back to Richardson. He steps into a three off the back rim. Long rebound out to Holloway. Has it poked away, grabs it back off the floor. Holloway drives, spins, and gets fouled under the basket. In a 4-8-ball game, Smith got away with a travel. Actually, probably two of them. Foul goes down low on Sawyer Stallings. That'll be his first. And Holloway will shoot two. First one is good. So Coleman snags the lead right back. Richardson out, Stockton in for the Buffaloes, along with Morgan, Stallings, Valdez, and Hilger. 4:23 left in regulation. Not a must-win for Forsan, but it would be a pivotal victory if they can pick it up. Second free throw from Holloway, bounces around, pops out, rebound Valdez and Forsan. 49-48, Coleman leads by one. Caden Morgan outside right, picked up by Holloway. Now across, up top with Major Stockton, holding above his head. Stockton drives, lost the dribble, picks it back up off the floor, head of the key. Feeding right into the hands of Valdez. Valdez working left, over top of the key left, out for a three from Sawyer Stallings, can't finish, and then under the basket. With a bucket and a foul. And so that gives Forsan the lead back, 50-49, with an and one opportunity to come. Hilger's free throw off the back rim, rebound, Stockton. Second chance opportunity, had it swatted away. They'll say it goes off of Stockton last. It stays Coleman basketball. The foul, by the way, is on Smith, his third. Coleman basketball under 4 to play. Down by 1, 50-49. Smith coming free off the screen, turns and travels. Forsan basketball. Now Coleman's coach asking questions. Major Stockton into the half court, speeding down the right side low block, dumps off to Hilger, pump fake and a lay-in. Mason Hilger's got 16. Forsan back up by 3, 52-49. Smith into the half court, feeding across to Holloway. Now outside right with Rosales as the Forsan chants get louder into the final 3 1/4 of regulation. Jab step, Rosales, little hop off the finish, missing it, flashing off the left side rim. Rebound Morgan and Forsan. They can stretch the lead to multiple possessions as Valdez drives baseline and then got shoved off the basketball. Up the floor comes Sykes. His pass knocked away by Morgan in transition. Back to Rosales. He'll drive off the three-point arc, pull up at the free throw line, bank a shot wild off the backboard, no rim. Rebound Forsan and Hilger, and then a foul from behind on Smith, who's now got 4, and Sawyer Stallings will head to the line to shoot the last 1 and 1. Stallings will shoot the front end of the 1 and 1. Roberson on, Smith off with the 4 fouls. Big free throw here with Forsan up 52-49. Stallings rattles it in. Forsan's lead is multiple possessions for the first time since the end of the first quarter. 53-49. Second Stallings free throw up, off the back rim, rebound Coleman. 53-49, Forsan's lead is 4. Into the half court, Rosales picked up by Stallings, drives right side baseline, spins clockwise to the cup and lays it in. Rosales makes it a 2-point game, 53-51. Forsan up by a pair with 2.5 to play. On the basketball, Stallings poked away by Rosales, out of bounds. Stays Forsan basketball. This is the difference between 4 and 4 in district for Forsan and 3 and 5. Tip pass into Hilger, up top with Stockton. Wild pass searching for Morgan, out of bounds. Coleman basketball. Braxton Smith will come right back in for Roberson. They want his three-point shooting prowess behind the arc to spread the floor. Roberson is more of a drive and kick guy. 53-51, Forsan's lead is 2. Holloway to Rosales, outside right. Rosales lobs it across the floor to Gentry, outside left, and now Holloway. Back up top with Rosales as Forsan weaves and waves in their 2-3 zone. Up top with Smith for a straightaway 3, long off the back rim. Rebound for Holloway, he drives inside, got fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. As the foul goes against Hilger, he's got 4. Team foul number 7 against Forsan. 9 team fouls against Coleman. Possession arrow favors Coleman. First free throw is good from Holloway. He's 2 of 3 in the game. Offensive, defensive substitution for Smith as Roberson comes back in. Stockton off, Richardson on for Forsan. 1-point game, 53-52. This to tie for Coleman. On its way, rattles around, pops out, rebound, Coleman. Pass back out to Holloway. He'll drive inside, elevates, Hilger forces an adjustment on the shot. It ends up being short. Rebound Forsan. They hold a 1-point lead, 53-52, into the final minute and 45 seconds. Evans driving baseline right, now back out to Morgan, outside the arc right, across to Jace Richardson. He will hold there. Roberson on him. Evans, the screener, decides to pull out and take a pass outside left. Evans on the rock, now up top with Richardson. Richardson drives, floater, middle of the lane, too strong, right side rim, rebound for Coleman, and then losing the handle is Ornelas. They will call a kick ball against Forsan, and it will stay with Coleman. They'll say an intentional kickball, so it's a foul. And heading to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 is Rosales of Coleman. This to tie the game with 1:25 left in regulation. Forsan stuck in another nail-biter for a third straight game. Running to the 1-and-1 from Rosales, back rimmed it, rebound, Evans and Forsan. The 1-point lead remains intact. Sawyer Stallings to Jace Richardson into the half court with 75 seconds to go. Richardson working on Roberson. His father, Coach Corey Richardson, will call a timeout. It's a 60-second full timeout with 1:14 left. Forsan basketball up by 1, 53-52 against Coleman. We'll take a 30-second break. Back to the final 75 seconds after this on 105.5 VX. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan leading Coleman by 1, 53-52. The Lady Buffs won earlier tonight, 58-44, thanks to 34 points on senior night from Riley Evans. The Buffs trying to finish a sweep and get back to 4-4 in district play, snapping a 2-game losing streak in close games consecutively against Miles, and now a third straight nip and tuck contest. As Caden Morgan inbounds into Jace Richardson. Richardson will walk it to the tip-off circle. Passing it left to Stallings, skipping a right-handed pass back into the feet of Valdez. Valdez will drive, jump pass, searching for a slicing Caden Morgan. Morgan is breaking to the basket, but Valdez's pass led him too far, and Morgan couldn't get to it. Turnover, Forsan. Coleman basketball with exactly 1 minute left. Roberson out, Smith back in for Coleman. Holloway speeding into the half court, into the hands of Rosales. Rosales searching across to Gentry, and now Holloway, right side wing three, short, offensive rebound, put back forward. Coleman leads by 1, 54-53, 45 seconds left. Richardson, outside right to Stallings, back to Richardson. Now it's Sawyer Stallings. Trying to drive, baseline right, under the basket, reverse lane, the two-point go down, tie ball on the rebound, Coleman basketball. With 24.2 seconds left. Forsan has to foul. Braxton Smith to inbound. He gets it into Roberson. Back to Smith. Forsan's got to foul him quickly. Still with Smith. Now he's going to try and run clock. 20 seconds to go. Now they'll trap Smith. Timeout called Coleman. Smith ran himself into a corner, burned off some extra clock. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Coleman leading by 1, 54-53, with 17 and a half seconds left. Forsan has to either foul extremely quickly or try to get the steal. If they can't steal, they definitely have to get somebody from Coleman to the free throw line. Still 2 timeouts remaining for Coleman. Excuse me, 1 timeout remaining for Coleman. And what would be 3 timeouts left for Forsan. inbounds pass goes all the way into the backcourt. Richardson will foul immediately. 1 second draining off the clock. Forsan will sub in and out. Evans comes off the floor, as to Sawyer Stallings. Valdez and Stockton on for Forsan. 1-and-1 situation. With a 1-point lead, 53, 50, 54, 53. The front of the 1-and-1 from Holloway. He misses it. Rebound Forsan and Hilder. Up the floor Valdez. And now Richardson to Caden Morgan. Driving, baseline, stops, off the glass, off the rim. Rebound kicked out to Morgan again. He goes up again, off the back of Hilder. Grabs his own mission. Foul called under the basket against Coleman with 1.7 seconds to go. Mason Hilder has 2 foul shots to tie or potentially win the game for Forsan. The foul underneath the basket. And Hilder hits the first free throw after bouncing it off the back rim and watching it drop in from high off the backboard. We are tied at 54. Timeout. Forsan will take a 30-second break. A potential game-winning free throw for Mason Hilder coming up right after this. Mason Hilder with 1.7 seconds left at the free throw line, shooting one more free throw in a 54-all ball game. A make gives Forsan a chance to win. On its way, off the right side of the rim, offensive rebound. Morgan off the rebound, had it sniped away. Will do overtime for a second consecutive game for Forsan. Tied at 54. Looked like Morgan had a shout at a foul. Referees let him play through it. We'll take a 30-second break. Overtime. 4 minutes of basketball starts after this on 105.5 The X. Welcome back here on 105.5 KXCS FM. 54-all game. Welcome to overtime. Tip of overtime won by Coleman and Sykes. It's Sykes along with Smith, Holloway, Gentry, and Ornelas. Forsan has Morgan, Stallings, Hilder, Evans, and Richardson, both teams starting fives, surviving to the overtime period. And a foul is called on the baseline right on a blocking foul against Sawyer Stallings. So that'll be 2 foul shots for Coleman as both teams are in the double bonus from here on out. Braxton Smith at the line to shoot the 2. First one on its way and good. Both coaches get an extra 30 and an extra 60 for the overtime session. Both teams have got 3 timeouts. Coleman makes first to go up by 1. Second free throw also good. Smith comes out. He's sitting on 4 fouls. Mason Hilder has 4 fouls for Forsan. Chase Richardson to inbound. Stallings back to Richardson. Richardson trying to find the best lane to get into the half court. He's worked on by Roberson, now getting across the half court stripe. Forsan trailing by 2, outside of Evans. Evans puts it on the floor, drives with the right hand across the paint from left to right. Now to Morgan, driving inside. Morgan goes up, gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Caden Morgan can do the same thing down the other end of the floor. First free throw up, first free throw in, 1-point game. 35 seconds off of this overtime period. Second free throw from Morgan on its way. Off the back rim, rebound bounces around. Coleman comes up with it. 1-point lead intact as Smith checks back in. 56-55 for Coleman. Smith driving all the way to the lane. Off the glass, shot won't fall. Backside rebound, Evans and Forsan try and grab the lead. Evans pushing the floor. Evans kicking out to Ernesto Rivera. Rivera on the rock. Down up top with Richardson across to Morgan. Wide open look for 3. And Caden Morgan from downtown with the glass. 58-56. Forsan's lead is 2. 2:45 to play in overtime. Coleman basketball. Rosales outside right. Now with Gentry way high in the front court left. Back to Rosales. Working to the right now. Left hand dribble at the waist. Kicks the dribble up. Skips it back to Holloway. Holloway across to Gentry. And now Sykes. He'll spot up for 3. Off the back rim. Rebound tipped beyond the hands of Stallings. Smith comes up with it for Coleman. Second chance opportunity. 2:25 left in overtime. Forsan leading by a pair, 58-56. Coleman trying to break down the 2-3 zone. Rosales drives inside, flashes it high off the window, draws a foul shot, won't go. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. Foul is on Rivera. That'll be Ernesto's 3rd of the game. First free throw. Rosales rims it out. Forsan will lead regardless of what happens here. Hilger back in, as to Valdez, as Evans and Rivera come off the floor. Second free throw from Rosales, who collects. 1-point lead for Forsan, 58-57, 2:15 to play in overtime. Sawyer Stallings angling right into the half court. Sees a lane, attacks, puts a shot up, and he gets fouled. Foul will be on Rosales, I believe. It is. That'll be his 2nd. And that'll send Sawyer Stallings to the line for 2. And this becomes a free throw shooting contest at this stage. Offensive and defensive substitutions up and down the floor for both coaches, trying to keep key players in the game as Stallings misses the first free throw inside right rim and out. Second free throw on the way from Stallings, and he hits. 1 of 2 at the line. Forsan's lead back to 2. 59-57, 2 to play. Coleman basketball. Outside right with Rosales. On the wing across left to Holloway. Skipping inside to Sykes. Morgan forcing him off the line. And the low block shot is missed by Sykes. And a timeout is called from Coach Corey Richardson. 1:45 left in regulation. After the Sykes miss, Forsan basketball up by 2. We'll take a 30-second break. Back right after this on 105.5 The X. back on 105.5 KXCSFM. Forsan searching for an inbounds play, leading by 2, 59-57 in overtime over Coleman. Richardson trying to get into the half-court. Sawyer Stallings on the basketball. Stallings over across the half-court stripe. Into the half-court offensive set now. Starting to post away by Rosales. 2-on-1 fast break. Driving down the line. Shot won't go for Rosales. Richardson picks up the foul. It'll be his fourth. And that'll be 2 at the line for Coleman to try and tie the game right back up. First free throw, Rosales hits. Second free throw to tie the game, rattles around, pops off, rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll be Forsan basketball. Coleman fans don't like it, but it's the right call. Went off of a Forsan arm, then a Coleman elbow. Inbounds pass to Caden Morgan as Coleman pressing up the floor. 1:20 to play. Forsan leading by 1, 59-58. Major Stockton into the half-court, worked on by Sykes. Stockton spinning, kicking to Caden Morgan, down low, under the basket. Morgan, is good! Caden Morgan, 5 straight for Forsan. 61-58, Forsan's lead back to 3. Roberson, crossover, drive, inside, left it short. Rebound, Stockton and Forsan, who gets fouled, he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Fans are blowing their tops. As Major Stockton will shoot 2 at the line. First one on its way. Drops off. Bounced off the front rim, off the back rim, and then eventually off. Stays at 1 possession game, 61-58. Forsan trying to stretch it to multiple possessions with less than a minute to play. 53 seconds left. Gentry back into the game for Sykes for Coleman. Second Stockton free throw on its way. Also no good. Rebound tipped around. Coleman comes up with it. Forsan can't stretch it to multiple possessions. Smith into the half court. Skipping a pass to Odom for a game tying 3. Misses everything. Stockton has the rebound. Gets fouled again. It's honestly, at this stage, quite humorous. The Coleman fans are so upset that these are fouls. I mean, they're obvious fouls. If it happened on the other side, they'd be freaking out that it wouldn't be called. Sykes back in, Gentry back out. 42.4 to go. Stockton back at the line for 2 more. And Stockton misses again. 0 for 3 with a chance to close this game out for the Buffs. Free throw from this bunch, banks it in off the window. Forsan's lead is 4, 62-58. Timeout, no, excuse me, they will just get a substitution in. Holloway into the half court with Rosales. Rosales on Rivera, lost the handle momentarily, picks it back up. Now across to Odom, inside Morgan, and he fouls. Down low, trying to cut the pass off. So with 34 seconds to go and a 4-point Forsan lead, Cameron Sykes will shoot 2. The foul on Morgan is his second, as Forsan has 3 players in double figures. Hilger with 17, Morgan with 11, Richardson with 10. First free throw from Sykes, dropping it in for a 1-possession game, 62-59. Valdez and Stockton back on. Rivera and Evans back off for Forsan. Second free throw for Sykes. Too strong, back in, offensive rebound for Rosales. Kicks out to Holloway. Game time three. Up off the back rim. Rebound out of bounds. Untouched. Forsan basketball with 26 seconds left. Coleman got exactly the look they wanted, and it just didn't go. Timeout Coleman with 26 seconds to go. It's Forsan basketball up by 3, 62-59. We'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to enthralling Buffalo basketball on 105.5 KXCS FM. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan up by 3, 62-59, 26 seconds left. And they'll have possession of the basketball, inbounding in the backcourt on the near sideline. Cervantes, Valdez, Morgan, and Hilger on the floor. Richardson to inbound for Forsan against Sykes, Holloway, Smith, Rosales, and Odom. Cervantes will get the basketball. He'll try and speed into the half court, and he does. Cervantes still on the basketball, gets fouled with 19.6 seconds left. As Coach Corey Richardson gets the guy he wants shooting these free throws. A chance to stretch this back out to 2 possessions. First free throw from Cervantes. Nails it. 63-59, Forsan's lead is 4. Valdez out, Evans in. Second Cervantes free throw, also good. Count them both for a 5-point Forsan lead, 64-59. Holloway into the half court for Coleman. Crossover, kick out to Smith, pulls the trigger from deep three-point range and hits. With 10.9 seconds to go, Braxton Smith pulls Coleman back within 2, 64-62. Timeout Coleman, another full timeout. We'll grab another 30-second break for our sponsors. Forsan up by a pair. They've got the basketball right after this on 105.5 KX. Welcome back on 105.5 KXCS FM. Forsan searching for the sweep of Coleman. We've got 10.9 seconds left in overtime. Forsan is leading 64-62. Coahoma has already split their night's worth of games against Stanton. The girls won, the boys lost. Sands swept Lamesa Klondike. The girls winning 48-14, the boys winning 45-43. Garden City's games against Grady went in favor of Grady. The one game, the boys game, 33-30. Inbound pass, Josh Cervantes, up the floor, Cervantes gets fouled. Coleman fans are freaking out because Forsan utilized an old trick in the book. They dropped a second guy to the baseline to change the angle of the inbounds play. Coleman freaked out, thought that they passed it out of bounds. Braxton Smith fouls out as he fouls Josh Cervantes. I'm not gonna lie, that's darn funny. Free throw from Cervantes, misses it off the back rim left. will have 6 seconds to work with if Cervantes hits this free throw, and they'll have to get a 3. Timeout from Coach Corey Richardson now with 6.1 left. It'll be a full timeout with Forsan still up by a pair, 64-62. In case you're wondering exactly what happened there, they had Caden Morgan set to inbound. They ended up dropping Mason Hilger from the field of play into the baseline area as well. Morgan passes to Hilger, still not in the field of play, and then Hilger triggers it into Cervantes, and it's the confusion of what happened there. Both teams have got one timeout left. It's, oh, by the way, perfectly legal because even though it's a rooted inbounds play, Morgan never moved, and neither did Hilger. So, very interesting things afoot as we try to finish tonight's worth of games off. Cervantes will be shooting one more foul shot with Forsan up by 2, 64-62. Arguably the most lethal guy from 3 for Coleman, Braxton Smith, has fouled out. One more big free throw coming up for Cervantes to try and make it a 3-point game. Free throw on its way. Free throw is good. Timeout from Coleman. A 60-second timeout. We'll keep it here for the duration. Forsan leading 65-62. Coleman now out of timeouts. Forsan with 2. Possession arrow favors Forsan. Both teams are shooting the double bonus. In some ways, if you're Forsan, your best opportunity here may be to allow Coleman to bleed some of that time off the clock, the 6.9 seconds that are left, and then just foul them. Let them shoot 2 free throws and make sure they can't get a game-tying 3 up. You have to imagine that's what the coaching staff is talking about as they assess their options here late in regulation. So it'll be Coleman inbounding with 6.7 to play. Searching is Rosales, all the way up to Holloway. Holloway to Ollinger, back to Holloway. His shot blocked. 65-62. Coleman says that there should have been a foul on the 3. They aren't going to get it though. Fans, not a happy group. Forsan has now taken victories off of the top 2 teams in district with a 65-62 overtime victory led by 17 points from Mason Hilger, 13 more from Caden Morgan, 10 from Jace Richardson, and some big free throws down the stretch from Josh Cervantes as Forsan gets back to 500 in district at 4-4 and keeps the battle for a playoff spot alive into the final week of 8-2A district play. Coleman will hold on to second. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll try and grab Coach Corey Richardson after all of the fervor, and we'll wrap things up right after this. You're listening to Forsan Buffalo Basketball. The Wild West Wings postgame show is right after this in 2 minutes.